special is for multiple reasons. Multiple reasons. Firstly, because the morning shift is here. The morning shift is here. That's okay. Yeah, the morning shift is here. So we got Jordan, Brooke, and the big fella Marky Mark. Can I call you Marky Mark? Can I say that?
You can, yes,
okay.
by all means.
Appreciate it. Marky Mark here. First of all, boys, welcome into, like you said it when you walked in, I didn't say it, the Mecca of Rugby League, which is, I appreciate that.
We did.
You said that. So I appreciate that. I didn't say that.
MRL, we've always said that.
Now, boys, I want to bestow upon you something very special. And it's something special in my heart because when I'm locked into something, when I'm locked in, I don't change, baby. I'm locked in, laser focused.
That's why you're the greatest warrior of all time. You were locked in.
Hey, bro, Manly round 3, bro. I scored from the soul line. I mean, I converted from the soul line. Locked in, baby. I'm in that zone right now. I have never, in the history of the Monday Review, for anything ever, pushed it back to start, except for you boys.
I apologise for that.
For nothing. Not the kids, not the wife. For nothing. And I pushed it back for the boys because, like, you're in Australia, you're in Sydney. I need the boys to come on the potty. Big fan, boys. Big fan of everything you've done. Thank you so much for coming on the potty, boys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Sorry, so for anyone listening, we had to fly in from New Zealand, right? So we didn't ask that. And I just want to say, to be very truthful, we were literally out of the Uber straight to here. You know, we didn't go for breakfast. We didn't get a coffee. We didn't do the whole line thing.
It's mutual. It's Anzac respect, baby. It's Anzac respect.
Why would we get a coffee when we can get grumpy?
Grumpy, bro. Come on now.
Oh my God.
They say, Dad, even though you're grumpy, you're always there when it matters most.
Oh my God.
And I didn't think that it would shut the whole place down.
So, guys,
Oh, it's hot.
I robbed my pony right
We walked
out
in
of
here
this one
and
horse
we did call it the Mecca of Rugby League.
I appreciate it, brother.
We've watched you, bro, for a very long time. Matu Mark and Stan Brook, and we honestly think we're big fans of you, and we love what you have done in this space, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
And I know it's your chance to be talking to us,
the
but
family proud.
we really get a chance to talk with
And
you.
I didn't
You said something really
think that
interesting
it would shut
before we
the
even started the
whole
recording. You were
place
talking about
down.
how people are really receptive of the content you're putting out there, and you were reluctant when you first started thinking no one would want to hear from you, any more than once a week. Kind of thing. What do you think's changed, or do you think it's something in you that's changed? Is it a confidence thing?
Yeah, that's a good question, baby. Shit, you're making a boy blush, baby. I haven't blushed since my wedding. I don't know, man. I think it's weird because I think a lot of people, not maybe now that they know me well, and maybe some with you boys too, like when you're an introvert, I hate that word, but like I'm a homebody. And so I used banter or chit chat or whatever as a bit of a
And I
defense
didn't
mechanism
think
for
that
getting
it
into rugby
would
league
shut
initially
the
because I was a soft player.
whole place
So it was a way,
down.
I was really struggling to go, I was always mates with the boys, but struggling to connect because I'd come from soccer. And so I was just like, fuck, just go all in, bro. Just like go into the go into a locker room. Yeah, Hodjo says you're shit. He says you're getting dropped next week. Like, that's fine. And initially, I would just put my head down and be like, that's the big dog. You shut up. You shut up. He tells you how it is. Lockie, all those boys. Barrow. I'm name dropping now, like just to show you. It's an impressive resume. Look, 1 year, but still, it's all good.
I had
the
almost
great
forgot those
Simon Maring too, boys. Simon Maring too. Manu Vadavai, the big fellas. And then eventually, I was like, hang on a sec, like if they're not talking to you, that means they don't like you. If they're putting shit on you, that actually means they want to like you at the very least. So I just leant all the way in.
It's a small distinction to make, but very
It's a fine line.
They want to like you.
Yes, exactly. They want to.
They liked you, but
Because you know what I think it is, and it's because it's a tradition and it's been handed down for so long. You just assume that it's this like negative thing. And because it becomes like just passed down without any explanation, you're probably unaware of why that tradition probably started of this like tough love. But it's to weed out soft people. I really think it is. It's to ask the question, are you a little sook that can't handle the tough times, at least in a rugby league team? Now, granted, I know times have changed. I'm not saying let's go back to the old days.
should they have changed though? You know,
I think a mixture of both is good. You know, I think the positive about the current generation is you guys like Reece Walsh, who will just like light a fire. Like just, you know, SJ is probably good too because he came through at that like perfect between the old and the new. And so he could probably tell you as well. I never forget the first time I ever saw SJ. So we're at the Warriors. And I think we had like an Arvo training, or maybe I was training with Rezzies probably, that's probably what's happening. And it was a first grade squad, and I think we're like up on a hill, and one of the boys, it might have been Mannering, or just one of the boys or something like that, was like, bro, You should see this young kid coming through. His name's Sean Johnson. He's an absolute freak. Anyway, so we're watching from the hill. This kid tear up. I think it was under 20s or something like that. Like just absolutely.
That 20 squad too.
Oh, bro. Some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. And from that moment on, like sometimes people go, oh yeah, I knew he was going to play first grade. You never really know. Some of the best players through juniors, they don't play first grade. But when you saw a guy like SJ, you knew. You're like, that's a level of talent that only comes around once in a generation. I remember seeing him for the first time, and obviously, you know, I laid the path for him to come through the Warriors. You know, very, very proud man. He's wore this jersey once. But anyway, the reason why it started getting more and more was actually I started doing a lot of React content in 2019, I think.
Yeah.
And so, like, funnily enough, like React content then was actually still already 1 or 2 years old. But to the mainstream, it was like, oh, what's React content? Like now it's like, fuck, everyone does it. And that's kind of like when my personality started to come through, there was reactions to it. And I'll never forget the first time I realized like, oh shit, this is a thing. So I went to, this is what, 6-7 years ago, went to a festival with my wife because I don't really go out that much, but like once a year I used to just have like a big blowout. And all these dudes came up to me like, dude, the Goosey. And I was like, what the? Because like the thing with a podcast, especially back then, that was just in my second bedroom talking shit.
Yeah.
So like to me, it's such a personal, private thing. I'm not out in the public getting a feel for what it's really like. And that's when I was like, oh shit, this actually means something to people. Like you can see the download numbers as much as you want. I'm sure when you guys did your live show and you saw the reception, you were going, bro, what the hell?
100%.
What the hell? So that's what kind of where it started. But it's not enough about me, baby. It's about the boys. It's about the boys.
No,
so for the people, I mean, for the very small people that also, can I say it? Probably poor taste. That if they don't know who you are, poor taste. The morning shift, the boys. Now one of the, if not the biggest podcast in the Oceania, probably. I mean, you can say it. Just say it, baby. Just let it go.
I'm just letting the Kiwi fake humility.
Kiwi fake humility.
Mate,
I'd really like to be successful. Hopefully, baby.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. The growth that you guys are showing. And also you started 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, going up.
And I didn't think that it would shut the whole place down.
First of all,
I'd ride my pony right out of this one horse
it's a beautiful
town.
story about backing yourself, about the boys getting together, and I'm sure there's a wider team as well. And I know you probably don't talk about it much, but it's a beautiful thing. You know, you go through your whole life, all these people telling you, nah, I'm not selecting you, So you make the choice, say, nah, I don't worry about no one selected me. I'll let the audience select me. And fuck me, the audience selected you. Fuck me, they selected you. Take us back to the start, boys.
Before, I'd like Mark to start. Like, I don't think people realize how much of a legend he was in New Zealand radio and what he's done. So I'd love to go back, because when you knew about Mark on radio, because they're from the same city, you would have been...
I would have been like 8, 9.
You were not there yet.
Mark's a bit older than me.
Let's really do the origin story.
Let's go to the origin story, baby. Get the lore out there.
Okay, so I always knew I wanted to be in some kind of audio medium.
Yep.
Like when I was growing up on the farm, I used to have to get the cow in, the milking cow in every morning. And my mum used to tell the story of me. I used to walk behind the cow, holding its tail, was super tame, and I'd talk into the tail.
No way.
Talking, singing, whatever it was, just to get through the boredom. So I always knew farming wasn't going to be my thing. I didn't have to, be a top farmer to find that out. Like get to the, NRL, etc. But I always knew I wanted to do it, and I spent probably close to 15 to 20 years doing music radio to begin with, which was the top radio station, top breakfast show.
Polly and Grant would have been like Jackie and...
But you know what's crazy? Isn't it?
What's the one here?
Jackie and Kyle.
Kyle and Jackie.
And its prime was like over there at home.
Wow.
The notoriety would be...
You know what's crazy? Now that you say it, the voice makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's a radio voice, baby. That's a radio voice.
Anyways,
Right,
we were
do all the white first.
the biggest breakfast show over New Zealand, and
we'll start off up the top here.
And then I was
Right here.
I didn't know him, but I heard the tales of. It's like the legends of.
And above it, we'll put the red.
Yeah, big, like bulging triceps, dreads.
Oh, you're dreads, man.
Energy, real energy.
Yeah,
Oh,
grown man energy.
Okay.
Really little boy energy. energy. But and I used to play against Brooke in basketball. So
And
I
I
used to
didn't
play basketball. My
think
squad.
that
Did you play
it
against him?
would
Also him in
shut the
basketball.
No,
whole
he
place
never
down.
came
Because
into
you
the
play,
paint.
you actually
I
played.
Brooke
ride
probably
my
has top
pony
5
right
high
out
school
of
basketball.
this
Yeah, okay,
one.
because I knew that. I knew that.
We're not G'ing that up. Would you say that, Mike?
100%. Like everyone knew of Brooke coming up through the age group.
Okay.
But I was at that age,
Yeah,
what,
stick
24,
around.
25, and I was like, this little, he ain't coming in. Well, I never saw Brooke. Whenever we played, never saw him. He always stayed in the out of the paint. Yeah. All I'd hear was seagull. Like he just stayed between the 3-point lines. But that's how I met Brooke. And then I kind of, this is without going too deep, but it was a bit of one of those things where you're like, I had my daughter Ava, and I kind of thought to myself, I'm done with sticking bananas up my ass for likes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, we've all been there, baby. We've all been there.
Quirky radio, But no, it was not
And
that
you're
it.
into that swingers?
Yeah, I did. I've been to a swingers club, and that was part of the.
The radio promo back then.
Well, radio was crazy back then.
Yeah,
Like,
there's no line.
There's no out of bounds, right?
There was no line. Like you could do whatever it was. And,
Okay.
So
and
do you mean as in you were sick of like doing kind of segments that you were just like, what?
it was stunty shit.
Yeah,
and I was
okay.
literally known as new hot guy.
Yeah,
and I didn't like it. And
Okay.
sports has always been my passion, and I've loved American sports from way back when. Like I loved the NFL, loved the NBA, and I always thought to myself like, Aotearoa especially could do sports so much better. And my real goal was to get on the sports station and kick it in the ass, like bring it to modernize it, give people something to be excited by. Like enough about wins and losses. Let's start talking about the peripherals, the game within the games, like all the players, their families, that kind of stuff. Really, like I was passionate about. And then, so I moved up to Auckland. Was at Radio Sport for a bit. They closed that down during COVID. They just decided sport was done, so that station was done.
God, yeah, of course.
So that was my first redundancy, and that was.
How you feeling after that? Because it's
Shit.
such an emotional.
Yeah, I would challenge anyone in their everyday lives now to eliminate work from their life and still stay on the straight and narrow. Because as much as we like to think we're more than that, we put so much time and energy and effort into it, and it's a little different from being a petrol forecourt attendant, right? Like whether you work for Mobil, BP, whoever, it's not really a passion thing. But when
it's a job rather than a profession.
Totally. But when you're putting your everything into the role that you're doing, and people know you for it, and then it's taken from you, you go through this real kind of period of am I not good enough?
Yeah. Feel a bit like a fraud too, because like people are like, oh, you're so good at what you do. Oh man, I just got around.
Am I though? Yeah. So you question a lot, and I think that was my first kind of big kick in the teeth. And I was like, that's rugged. And then
There's the first bit of detail in with his face.
A visual podcast out of Eden Park.
No way.
Yeah, they gave me a corporate box, and I set up very similar equipment to what we use now, and had to go at the podcasting thing.
What year was this?
Okay.
After COVID.
Now we need to cut across here, so we'll go here, and then
I
we'll
had
go up.
Blake Ashford was one of my full-time hosts, and Nathan Rarere, and it was a real eye-opener into the content world and the change. And radio was so stale and stuck
So
in
we're just gonna
audio-first medium, where it didn't use social as much
see
as it
how we
could have
go
and should have.
here.
And so I gave that a go, and it wasn't bringing any money. No one was spending money at that time.
Bro.
It was
Tell me
tough
about
times. And then my wife said, you need to stop with this little hobby of yours and go get a job. And I got a phone call from one of my old bosses who had moved networks and said, hey, there's this awesome radio station that has a really talented crew. And his description was they're like this unruly bush, like huge bush that have no rules and seem to have if they were, if you could groom them into a radio show like you've done before in the past, then you'd be, I think this is a real winning recipe.
Wow.
And that's when I went to My FM, and that's where I met Jordan.
Oh shit.
And Jordan will take it up from there.
Oh shit.
So I just like talking about the origin story, right? So how funny is it that back
So
in
I'm
the day,
just
Brooke
gonna
playing at the rec with Matsu Mark
try to
That's so true, bro.
put as much detail into this. It's just hard to do it at this kind of scale because it
because you knew of each other.
the what do you call it?
I'll guess Mark here.
The
I came to the end
points
of my,
they're
I
hard
know
to
Mark
grab
originally in Wellington.
kind of thing
And I
around
kind of
that
went away and played
around
basketball.
this
I came to the end of that.
size.
It's still real young, and you know when you get in
As
that
you can see
crossroads
right
and you feel
there.
it's like, shit, what's next?
Yep.
And so I was sitting there, didn't really know what to do, so I called Mark, and I wouldn't have spoken to Mark in, I don't know. You know, like, I hadn't spoken to him in years.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
at this
yeah.
point, but he was working at Radio Sport, and I was just like, can I, like, give me some advice? You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't really know why I'm calling, but, you know, maybe give me a dub here.
Yeah.
He welcomed me into the studios. He was like, bro, just come in. Like, didn't have to. I was this young brat, and I remember sitting in there, and I was there for like a week. And
You
I
do one of those free intern things.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
I did that.
No
you know?
way.
I did that, but Mark didn't have to. You know, I'm just.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a big deal. This thing
Yeah.
that I'm going into.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'm just kind of sitting there, kind of taking notes, and nothing eventuated from it. But I just remember being like, the man.
Yeah.
You know, the man. So it's cool that we've kind of been able to go full circle, and
Yeah.
now we're here.
No
So I've
way,
always
bro.
kind of just been like, so that's a good man right there.
Yeah, wow.
Hang on.
Bat signal.
Not that we're all trying to like be on gasolina here and just gas it up. Before he got to that crossroads, like Brooke had an outstanding high school basketball
Yep.
career. Like, not everyone can say they got the game-winning
Okay.
shot at the buzzer beater.
Oh
And
shit.
what, you win Nats high school Nats twice? Your school?
Oh, but you know.
Yeah, MVP twice. But, you know, Kempy, we're,
Right.
we're
Okay.
talking
Done.
50, 60-point games. It was
Oh
like,
shit.
and he got a scholarship to go to America. We don't really talk about that part much. But so post that, he's back kind of having those conversations. That,
Yeah,
well, I had-
people looked at him like you guys
Right
looked
there,
at Sean Johnson when he was
Oh,
when you're on the hill.
shit.
They saw
Okay.
him like
But
that.
I grew up with Steven Adams.
Yep.
So he was like 2 years younger than me, but you could go like, that dude's going to the NBA.
Okay.
You know, and I could feel that I wasn't quite that,
Mhm.
but you know, you could be like, you can make some money off this.
What? Why, can we speak about why you didn't go to America?
I did,
Mm.
but I was in love. You know what I'm saying?
Oh damn.
But I also, hold on, there's a two parts. Hey, I can, Jordan's partners here, I can see her going, you bloody
Brought to you
idiot.
by Grumpy Coffee.
Oh,
Yeah, blessing in
man.
disguise, though, am I right? Like blessing in disguise.
Yes, sir.
But what happened was I actually did in my mind, this might sound like GST, but I did plan on going back to the States, but I had
Yep.
surgery. So I had to come back home and have surgery. And the surgery went so bad. So I had keyhole surgery, but a piece of the drill snapped off.
To be honest,
And
I understand where you're coming from because my brother went to England for soccer and he
Yeah.
got offered a contract from Norwich, which was just
Very
under the
late.
Premier League.
Yeah.
I think it was like 17, 18. And he got homesick, came back, got stretched fractures in his back, and never
No,
went back.
I
And
just
he had a
deleted
contract
that.
there.
Well,
Fuck's
I had
sake.
the surgery and
Yeah.
the piece of drill snapped off and it
Oh.
stayed in my, like,
Oh,
the surgeon left it
oh,
in
this
my head.
fucking game,
Sue them for
bro.
that shit?
Can't sue in New Zealand, but didn't tell me.
Fuck's
Or didn't tell
sake,
my mom,
man.
didn't tell anyone.
So the part of the drill.
The drill.
Hang on a sec.
Yeah.
Hang on a
Oh,
sec.
yes. Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
show many people this, but I'll show you.
So they can like essentially ruin the trajectory of your life with their poor performance.
I don't know. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Because it's medical malpractice, but it's technically fine. You know, like he wrote it in post-op notes, but didn't say anything. But he wrote it in a way that, especially Chinese. You know, like I wouldn't know. You read those notes and be like, that don't make no sense. to me,
Yeah,
you
okay.
know?
So like broken English kind of thing.
Yeah. So it was
okay.
technically okay, but
Fuck's
so
sake,
it was
man.
just like swelling around in my hip for, I don't know, maybe like 10 years. Just
And what
tore
it
away
ended
all
up
the cartilage.
doing to your hip? Just took the cartilage out.
Tore away all the cartilage. I was on, like when I was playing, I was on tramadols. You know,
No way.
you're practicing on tramadols and
And what year was this?
maybe
You
20,
still play NBL for a bit, eh?
2019. Yeah, I still played in New Zealand, but just not to the level of.
Bro, that's that sucks, bro.
It's a
Fuck,
whirlwind,
that's so
but it's also
annoying,
like a
man.
blessing,
But look
you
where
know,
you are
just-
now.
Yeah.
'Cause if
Try to
anything
just
changed,
undo
you would
one
be
thing.
sitting here right now.
Well,
It
I wouldn't be
undoes
talking.
like
So
fucking
how'd you meet? What happened?
like 5 minutes of work.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
So we met.
I'm gonna find this while you do that.
We met through his high school friend. So these guys are all from Wellington.
Mm.
Terrible place. And they all moved to Auckland to make it big and do what they
Yeah,
need to do. Anyway, so the friend he went to high school with moved to Auckland. I don't think he'd moved to Auckland by that
I
point.
hadn't,
yet.
but I would come and visit.
So then I met him, and he's our mate's son. He's the man. He's actually, we went for his wedding in Canada like 2 years ago. He's come here. Anyway, greatest dude. But then he makes the connection. I go over to Sana's one day, and Brooke's there, and I'm like, oh, what's up? And then we start playing. Back then it wasn't NBA Live, eh?
It was 2K.
It was 2K. The first like 2K. I feel like it was 2K.
Oh, yeah, NBA Jam. Is that long ago?
I feel
No, I
like
played Mark on NBA.
So we-
yeah.
He's on fire.
we start playing 2K, and like I'm good at 2K,
Yeah.
but obviously.
He's actually
Like
done the
very,
he's done the
very,
thing.
very quickly, I feel like in Auckland there's this thing that we don't like other people outside of Auckland because they can be like too familiar with you, you know.
Oh, okay.
And if you're a salty person like a lot of Aucklanders are, that can be a problem.
Okay.
So end of the first.
All right, let's try not to
starts chirping
delete.
up, you know, starts saying
Try not to
something.
delete
like,
anything.
Hand down, man down. You know, like I just met the guy. I don't really like that. But really, it's just because he's beating me by 20.
Come
And the
on.
rule on the game was if you get to 20, you get off.
Yeah.
So I remember he was like on 18, just toying with me at the 3-point. Gets it, and he's like, get off! Like, put your controller down. Get the hell out of here.
Oh my god.
And I think I punched the wall on the way to dinner.
No way.
Yeah, something like that. It was weird. It was
What's up,
weird.
Yeah.
bro?
Like, I
How you
couldn't
doing?
handle
Oh my god.
It was a slow start. It was a rough start for us, but we got there.
But you were probably used to talking shit to like people you don't know because that's what you would do in basketbll, I'm assuming.
Basketball is like it's like a language.
Yeah.
It's like a language within a language, you know? Like if you're a great shit talker,
Yeah. It is what it is.
yeah, you're like known around the way, you know?
Okay.
And so you can like, even if you're subpar on the court, if you can kind of hold your own off the court and playing like 2K and things like that,
Yeah.
you know, like you,
Okay.
it kind of
Okay.
helps.
Okay, so the morning shift though, like this is like so my FM.
Okay.
What happens there? As much as you can say.
Just
Yeah,
trying not
so
to
we-
delete anything. Now we're back to where we were 5 minutes ago.
We all get to my FM at different times, But the awesome thing was that we got to work
Alright,
together.
we'll
and
do
form
the
this bond,
lettering down the bottom
which
there.
is that's the real thing to highlight it. Like it's so my FM is so awesome in terms of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Not at the time, but you know, me and Brooke were. Wait, you didn't come up to the breakfast show, you did. So we
Not at the
basically
start,
all at
no.
one point worked on the breakfast show.
Yep, okay.
Which was doing well, very well at the
Well, it's
time.
the first time I seen my FM when you boys started doing it. That's the first time I'd seen it, kind of thing.
It's good to feel vindicated in some way because we thought we were popping too.
Got your Christmas tree today. Nice. What kind of Christmas tree did your
So this is kind of I feel like
did your
radio
family pick
is-
out?
What I realized when I got to radio over
Was
time
it just
was
a
I'm
normal
like,
one, normal green one?
A lot of this is just filling noise. Like it's just, and that's cool, getting people A to B. But I realized that the success that we started to have, I feel, is because as a team we.
You
kinda
excited
said,
for
like,
Christmas?
Why do we have? Let's not just film this. let's have a laugh. Let's have a real chat. But I didn't really feel like that message was landing on anyone there at the time because
Yeah.
they're all in radio. Like
It's that old school mentality.
not to talk down on radio, but I feel like
From a
if you're not
Christmas
from
tree
radio,
farm.
you don't
Oh,
go to radio
nice.
school and
That's
you don't work
cool.
there and everyone knows each other. You can feel a little bit on the outside, which is
That's
how I
really
felt.
cool.
When Mato Mark became our producer, I felt like this guy was like, bro, this is me. Like we can go and I don't know if you want to speak on that.
Just quickly on that though, like I've always been a big believer. If you want to do something different or great, it's got to feel wrong to most people. Do you understand what it's like? If most people, in a
Heck
certain
yes, that's
industry
good,
sitting
bro.
on- now, granted, you can't say some crazy shit.
Hopefully you
But
get
like,
get
if
something
you're
that you
gonna break
wanted.
the mold, it's called breaking the mold for a reason. And I've always felt that like if you've got this really strong feeling about a certain piece of content or style of content, and the higher ups that are just got their roots in a system are like, nah. A lot of the time, sometimes that's the direction to head. At least in my opinion, sometimes.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
we in our country we're definitely there's a sort of semi-revolution. It feels like where ethnicity does matter, and there are some really good Māori role models, and there's a real movement to push the culture forward. And I felt when I turned up to my FM that this was a wonderful vehicle for Pacifica and for people to be informed, to laugh, but also to learn. And there was a whole lot of stuff. And I feel like it's as simple as we wanted to use
My mum
our time on the radio.
to
productive.
smell a real
We
Christmas
were
tree,
gonna
so
make
we
it
went
live,
and
we were
got
gonna do
one.
it in a genuine way. We were gonna
It's a fat one.
hit those feelings
Nice.
that we should hit, and vulnerability is one that is
Yeah, that would be
completely
pretty cool.
underutilized.
It's like the
authenticity, and if you can combine
it's what
all
the
those
American
emotions at once, then you're
people
away
do.
laughing. And I think,
Go and get a real Christmas tree,
Jordan
but
in
yeah, that would
particular, from
that
a
would be pretty
storytelling
cool. Does it smell
perspective,
good?
has the ability to relate to the
Or does
audience,
it
but
smell
also has
funny?
there's a real buy-in from them to hear what he has to say and to be entertained, but also to sit and listen and to think.
Well, that's
and
pretty cool. Having
yeah,
a
there
real
was
Christmas
I
tree,
think for
that
me,
is awesome.
My run-in happened when
That'll make
when you
Christmas a little bit
come
more
in at
special.
an older age and you've worked with these bosses before, they entrust you with information and like their thought patterns, and then you go to the group and you're hearing what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And it was pretty easy to know which way was the right way, especially on a brand like that. And to make sure no one feels shit about this journey, because no one should.
Yeah.
I think the simplest way of putting it is the way we envisioned what we wanted to do on the radio is simply what we're doing with the podcast.
Absolutely.
And that's the cleanest way of saying it. Like,
Yeah.
we have no ill feelings. I mean, sure, being redundant twice is never cool. But
No way.
I think ultimately
That's all ego connected, though, at the end of the day.
that is.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what it did tell us was that we always had the right vision and the right way of doing things.
Yeah. Like, you
and
got to admit, it does
Yeah, I
feel
celebrate. Yeah, of course I celebrate
empowering when you
Christmas.
go, you know what? That little voice.
I just don't.
How many times in your life you've had
What do you
that
call
little
it?
voice inside of you, and you
Just
tell it
don't
to
get
shut up?
too crazy with it. You
But
know,
then
at the end of the
your
day,
voice
it's
says, no, that voice was right back
you know,
then,
it's a
you know,
which is
holiday
no
for my
different to, say,
nieces
what
and my
you're going
nephew.
through when you were saying,
So,
one
you know, I
show
just
and
like to
Yeah.
start to feel, hang
watch
on,
them open up their
there is
Christmas
something-
presents, see what
this
Santa
is
got them,
what we were thinking, like what you were thinking with that one show, to then
and then
be able to,
you know, help them
extrapolate it out and
put
have
together
more,
whatever
more,
toys
and
they
then
got
want more.
or whatever bikes
That's the real kind of warm feeling where you're like, we
or
did a
you know
thing,
whatever else
and
kind
people
of presents they
enjoyed
got,
the thing, and
Oh,
they
and
want
and
more of
then
the thing.
enjoy the dinner
And
or
I,
the
I-
lunch.
I feel like, there's such
That's
a
what I always look
passion
forward
for
to is the
Santa
lunch, the Christmas
for
lunch.
Where I've seen your success
Mm.
and ours, and I don't know how to kind of put this into words, but I feel what we do is kind of like what you do in terms of like we want to say new media versus old media. For me, like new media is like there's these two opposing sides where we know how to set the story up, and this is what old media love to do, and it's usually polarizing opposites. It's either this or it's either this, and all new media does is like, no, there's this whole other groove to get into here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why can't they be both?
Yeah. No, I'm
why,
with you.
why don't? Yeah, there's a mistake here, but
We'll quickly right here.
Yeah. Because they're just
It's all
people at the end of the
about
day,
this,
too.
there's this whole
Yeah, I
other-
love
there's
Christmas.
this whole
Christmas is
other
cool.
path
Christmas is
Yeah,
cool.
I'm with you.
that people want to listen to, that people need to hear, that actually exists. And I feel like we were trying to do that where we were, and the best thing was, to be honest, if I went, we went into a room and I kind of asked for what I think I should get. And in hindsight, let's say they gave me that, it was still peanuts to what we were really
cool,
should
that
have
looks
been
good.
getting.
Yeah.
Peanuts.
Yeah.
Santa
And
is real if
I-
you believe
I
he's
probably
real.
would have stayed, bro.
Yeah.
And I probably would have said this intuition that I had that things could be better.
Santa is real
But,
if you believe he's real.
Sometimes that's
'Kay,
important
so we
to
gotta
feel,
go
because you want to change stuff
Just right
that
here.
where you're not supposed to be on their
on the
time that they
red
pay for,
part.
Yeah.
which is their prerogative.
Absolutely.
Like, at a
Do
simple
the
base,
red.
like,
Mm.
that's their platform,
Yep.
So to be able to be moved on, and now to look back and think, man, I can't just not be okay with that. I've got to be so happy with that.
It's crazy how
Good.
such a negative thing, once time gives it space,
Bro,
such a positive thing.
perspective, and for you to, and for anyone listening to relate this, like, if there's I don't think everyone has it, but I think when you get it, and it's just kind of feels like you can't really stop thinking about it. You can easily, no one has to push you to go in that direction in your mind
Yep.
of what you want to get.
Mm.
I think if you have that, like, you have to go
Okay,
through obstacles so
this
that
up.
to convince yourself that you're who you say you are.
Yeah, I'll
And
make
that's what's been the
I'll
most rewarding
make the
thing is-
first logo first.
and we're terrible.
The
at
the
really
one with
celebrating, but often we'll have a
the
quiet
panther
moment to have a
jumping
little
through the
laugh and
P.
reflect, and
But I already
kinda
have
go
made
like-
that on the.
And for me personally, I
It's
just
already on the
feel-
fan hub.
I feel a sense of pride going, man, these ideas that we used to dream about and think like, well, we could just do that. We actually went and did that.
Yeah, 100%.
And it actually fell on the right ears and,
Yep.
fell on the right people. And that's been the rewarding part of all of that.
So morning shift comes together, bro.
Yeah.
How does it come together? Like, when did you just kind of like say, this is it, we're all in?
Yeah, and make sure we thank Webby.
Yeah, so we have we all have a mutual friend as well.
Yeah.
Webby, who's the owner of
Incredibly successful clothing brand.
Yeah, so shout out to our boy. He was kind of the mastermind behind all of this. So, and we just finished our live shows, but I said this during the shows, is timing is such an important thing. Like
Massive.
the divine timing of everything.
Yeah.
You have to be able to realize it sometimes
Do
as well.
that.
You know, like I was coming to the end of the contract, timing with these boys. Webby was in a situation where he could go, boys, we can do something here. I was frightened, if I'm being honest. Like
course.
we had a catch up maybe 2 months before we really got into it, and I was still like,
It's getting a little bit hairy
I
here.
just go back to radio and say because I was about to have a
Safety.
kid.
Bit thin.
And so that
So
was
we're
scary
gonna
for me.
just-
But
Absolutely.
Try to
there was
Bloody
just like
hell.
something there going.
come
"Nah,
on,
there's a chance
game.
the boys can do something here. You know?
Yeah.
And that's why this kind of even sitting here today with you, bro, is like a This is kind of like a pinch yourself moment for us to be like,
I appreciate that, bro.
You know, like this is pretty cool. We watch all of your stuff.
Thank you.
You know,
bro.
we're big fans. We get you on the show when we can get you on the show.
Yeah.
It's cool for us to be here.
Can I try one of the beers, please? We can't get them.
We have to get. You know what? We have to get more because they are all been sitting there for ages.
I don't care.
You don't care?
No, we can't get them.
Diesel engine over here, bro.
Sorry.
Okay, we'll get one. We'll get
Cool.
one. Surely we'll get the least off one for you.
But I think, bro, we did our very first show in Mark's garage.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Actual
Maybe I
show,
actually did make it
there
on
was
Rugby
no
League Live.
studio,
Yeah, I think maybe it
cameras.
was on Rugby League Live 4.
There was hope and there was a dream, but there was a garage that kind of set it up for us.
And look, you guys are killing it.
4 more days until December 1, yes.
Always remember that garage, boys.
Wait, we will.
Always remember that garage.
We will, because like I said, we just did our live shows, and like to come to Aussie and sell out in more.
Craziness, bro.
To be in Goldie, like to kick it off over here it's just the most humbling thing.
Seeing the video of those people, like they're what do you reckon? 1% of the population of the whole world gets to experience something like that?
Yeah,
maybe 1%.
It was pretty cool, bro.
It's incredible, bro. It's incredible, and just the ability to back yourselves in, especially having a kid. Oh my god, bro, it's crazy. Okay,
well, it's funny. It's quickly. So really, what happened? Mark. I don't want to say Mark got moved on from but Mark basically got offered another job and was like, I can't do it. Like you guys. Anyway, that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So he gets moved to this other job, which was more money. This mean you're balling me. And it was in like news talk of this new
Far
show.
out, bro. This
And
logo
then
creator is so
the
stupid
podcast was
sometimes.
starting and Webby
Come on, man.
calls, he's
Stop,
like, "Who do you
stop
need?"
bloody
Like,
being
I was
weird.
like,
Just
"I'd
do
love
what I
to
want you
get
to do.
Brock on the pod if you can."
Thank
I know
you.
Brock, I'm like, I know it's like a risk, but I
I'm
reckon we
excited
can
for
do
the
this,
elves to
bro.
come back.
And
They're funny.
Brooke was kind of just like,
The elf on the shelf.
I never felt like you ever were like, I don't know. I just felt like it was just, you just had to jump. But at the same time, when I was calling him, I was confident.
Well, it was the one thing was, and like we said before, like it's all played itself out and it's perfect now. Is like the handling and the care of Jordan had done so much at and just the handling and care of the way that you
Okay, there we go.
you announce something like him leaving. It had to be done the right way, and so.
So we
that
could go
always
down here.
never sat right with me.
Yeah.
You know, so like I always felt like I was 99% there, but it's just the comfort
Need to trace
of being
all
like,
of this.
you know what,
Totally.
baby's on the way,
You know what's crazy?
salary.
Obviously, your partner's here. You've got a partner?
No, I'm single, so if
You're single?
anyone does actually listen to the show,
You got a partner?
Australian audience.
Yes.
Wife.
Happily
But
married.
at the time, you had a partner?
Nah.
Oh,
it
okay.
didn't-
Wow.
Well, no, I did then. Sorry,
Yeah.
and it wasn't long
Well,
after that.
I just wanted to look.
Yeah,
I'm about to simp. I'd be a cuck, but just a moment. We're talking about our greatness, but what about the wives in our lives that allowed us to do it?
Oh, and still to this day, like Winter's mum is.
We
the
have
greatest.
4 elves.
you know what I'm
Nice.
saying?
Do you have names for them?
Sometimes you gotta build up yourself so that
It's
you
been a good few
can
years
build
for my
something
boy.
else.
They
for
still
someone else.
allow. They still allow. Okay, boys. So you bring it together. You're in the garage, and it's all ticking along. When did you just wake up almost and go, "Oh shit, we're here. We are like this is an experience." Like the young me, if I sat there and told that young me, he'd be like, "Bro, settle down.
I don't
Let's
know
just
if we
relax."
ever do.
I definitely had a moment where I was like, we've arrived. And that was when I'd spent 15 years, close to 20 years, trying to get on the radar of NZR. And remember when we were 3 months into New Zealand rugby, for anyone who All Blacks.
That's our game for
Yeah.
US Aussies listening. It's our game.
Ultimately, they are a tough nut to crack. They don't give a shit about media. But we were 3 months into doing our podcast, and we received one of the most exciting phone calls I'd ever taken. And
Okay, there we go.
All Blacks were getting ready
Cool.
for a Rugby World Cup, and they
We call
wanted
them
us
elves. Ah, okay.
to come along and create content at the Rugby World Cup.
my
Only, that to me was like,
It fell through, but-
like,
But the call was made.
They ended up saying, nah, never mind.
But the fact that they called you to,
they called.
yeah.
That to me was enough. And as a massive sports fan, like for me, that in our country especially, to be able to be on the radar of NZR for me
It's an
was
honour.
a massive
Yeah,
tick
yeah.
in the box. And then the ability to be able to turn down a truckload of cash very early on to a fast food company because we wanted to do what was right by the community.
Yep.
And for all the shifters, we wanted to set a good example and set a standard. And you know what it's like when you're bumbling along.
Too hard to
back
figure
then,
out
maybe,
names.
like,
Yeah, that's
he was
fair, bro.
paying us enough for us to be able to keep it on.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden we all looked at each other and we knew straight away that money, not all money is good money, and that this was going to set a standard for where we were headed to.
Yep.
And to say no to the cash then and there, and probably which would stopped us from going to the World Cup in the end.
Yep.
It was like a moment where we were like, nah, there's bigger things for us to be able to do. But for me, that was a genuine whole, we're doing this.
Yeah, wow.
Because
it's fascinating because I don't think we've ever talked about this.
No.
You know, I'd be interested to hear yours as well. I find we dropped our first video, and I remember we jumped to like 12,000. It was an announce, but it wasn't an announce.
Yeah.
It was like Jordan was up a hill punching the air. I was playing basketball. Like
It
it was this real like cinematic thing. Like
I had a vision in it. Come on now.
but it was like, what are these boys doing? And I remember we got to like 12,000 followers in like the space of 2 or 3 days, and I was thinking like, shit, that's pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Now we have to go on back, something up and do something, of course, but. I remember Jordan going, I won't be happy till we get 50. And then it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, we snuck up to 50. And I was like, okay, this is kind of moving somewhere.
Yeah, I believe.
The
So
hell are you
that's
singing?
crazy.
That was kind of my first one.
Yeah.
The second one, in saying this, I think we do a terrible job because I actually never really thought about it, but now I'm thinking about it. The second one, we get to work, you can feel like a little bit of angst in the air. Everyone's like kind of hiding something from me and Jordan. We're going,
I'll
what's
quickly
going
just
on
make
here?
this red
Sit us
just a
down.
little
We
bit
always
deeper.
sit in different chairs to two different cameras, and they sit us down on the same chair, so we're on the same
And now
camera.
we'll do the
And T-Pain pops
helmet.
Bro, I remember seeing that clip
know
just going, the
you
voice.
know
Like, I didn't even know
Get
you
a
said
pocket to the
that, but I just felt
face,
full. I
and
was
see
like,
that?
that's
Throw
incredible,
it.
bro. That's
Throw
incredible.
it.
So to see
Throwing
his
that
face, it
ass
kinda,
for days, booty going
yeah,
up.
He had us over there in the
Now
States, and to
I ain't
meet
got no
him and be
problem
in the
spending
room
all
with
of my
him,
money. Trying to see what's up.
hopefully do some
Now
future, like,
I can do
that was
this
probably
all
one for
day
me
like it
going,
ain't
like,
nothing.
Do you know how
Black
many young
cars
girls
party in the
projected you to buy your-
backyard. Shawty got the black bar showing.
What was it, 2000?
Tatted up, ass fat enough. She a bad, and she already know it. Yes, she know it.
When I say young, I mean
Yes, she
I was
know
18,
it.
that right?
She a bad, and she already know it. Yes, she know it.
Boys, now in regards to what's the vision though? Like, you know, we've had to
She make
speed
it
run
drop,
this. I wish
then
we
you
could have
go
hours and
go do
hours
the
and
show
hours. But
and
what's the vision? Actually, sorry, what was your moment?
We got time.
You got time? We got 12
Booty
minutes.
bigger than a Samoan. I'm on the stage every time Shawty throw
what does it
in.
mean?
Shawty throw in. Shawty throw
And
in.
this is-
Booty
it's
hit the
gonna get- am I in
booty.
a safe space?
Slow motion.
Always
I'm
safe.
so gone. I'm Patron.
Me when
I
get
don't know
that,
how I'm
when
getting
I say I
home
do a
later
live show,
on.
right?
Like I don't even know it.
I struggle
know
with
it.
it sometimes because I'm like that little kid that someone bullied, or that little kid that no one
see
didn't
it,
like that
throw
much.
it,
How do you
thro-
go
throw
with
it,
the adoration or
throwing
the
that
love
for
from all those
days,
people? Is it
booty
like,
going
no,
up,
it's I deserve it, I own it?
I ain't got no
Or
problem
do
spending
you
all
go,
of my
fuck, man, I'm
money.
just that little kid that struggled to
Tryna
make
see what's
friends?
up.
Or because I've got a theory that
Now I can do this
sometimes
all
we are
day
just
like it
little
ain't
kids
nothing.
in grown-up bodies. Social cues are all
Black
there for
bar,
us, and
party
but
in
when
the
the times
backyard.
get tough, your little kid
Shawty
comes
got
out.
the
You know,
black bar
and so
showing.
how do you feel in those
Tat it
moments?
up,
I
ass fat
struggle with
enough.
the praise, and I think I've seen you guys struggle a little bit with the praise. Why is that?
Maybe start with someone who doesn't struggle with the praise at all. Not too much. I'm joking.
No, you know what? I always look at it with gratitude.
Yep.
I think that's the first place that I start, especially with the live shows.
Shawty throwing, shawty
Every single
throwing,
person who was
booty
in
hit the
that,
booty.
in that
slow
audience
motion.
had spent
Okay.
hard-earned
That was
cash, and
crazy.
I know
So
it's
going
super
up
hard
a
to get
Patron.
cash.
I don't know how I'm getting
They've
home
spent
later
that
on.
time
Like,
where they could've, they've
can I get the
hired babysitters,
microwave a
whatever the
little
case.
higher? What are
They
you
don't
on
have
about,
to
Bo?
Just to reinforce your point,
What are you yapping
there
about?
are pop stars that come to this country that they wouldn't spend money to go and see. Think about the impact of that.
Yeah.
And I think when that hits me, like it's just a real feeling of gratitude, and it doesn't that overflows over the top of pretender. I don't deserve this. Anything like it's just I just have this mass wash of gratitude.
Yeah.
Booty
And
hit the booty,
man,
slow
like,
motion.
it just
I'm so
again
gone,
like
I'm
it can
Patron.
take me
I
straight
don't
back
know
like
how
to
I'm
all our
getting
live shows
home
right at
later
the very
on.
end,
Like, I don't
and
even
everyone's
know
like standing up and clapping. Like I just get
that
goosebumps
bucket to
thinking
the
about it.
stage, and they stick
Yeah,
the
it
neighbor
is
throw it.
gratitude that washes over me. Like just
Throw
super
it,
thankful,
throwing
and
that
that
ass
stops me
for
from
days,
feeling
booty
any of the other
going up.
ones
Yeah,
that I
wow.
can quite easily
Now
creep up
I
on.
ain't got no problem
Boys?
spending all of my money.
Yeah. feel when that
I think part of the thing that to extend
Trying
with
to see
that
what's
is
up.
that
Now I can do this
why
all day like it ain't
always be like
none.
that is this isn't gonna
Black
last
bra,
forever, you know.
party in
We're
the
gonna have our
backyard.
show at some point.
Shawty got the black bra
And,
showing.
Um,
Tatted up,
but
ass fat
you know, to
enough.
be in this
She
kind
a
of
bad,
season in my
and she
life right
already
now,
know it.
particularly in these
Yes,
times,
she know it.
particularly in New
Yeah,
Zealand,
yeah, she know it.
to be able
She
to
a bad,
leave
And
to
she
go get
already
my,
know
my
it.
kid from kindy or
Yeah, she know it.
Kurokopapa
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I
she
need
know it.
to be able to get in
She
late,
make a
make a
drop,
call,
then
so
jiggle.
around
Go
45
to
out,
a
I've
show
got to
in.
drop kids
Ride a
off,
mo
or
in.
to have
Booty
the
bigger
kind
than
of
a Samoan. I'm in the
stability,
stage
but
every time. Shotty throw
with
in.
the
Shotty
excitement of
throw
doing
in.
something you want to
Shotty
do,
throw in.
and others allowing you to do that,
Booty
Yeah.
at the booty. Slow motion.
is why we'll always be thankful.
I'm so gone on
I'm always
Patron.
in two
I
minds
don't know
about the
how I'm
adoration,
getting home
'cause
later
I know
on.
what this thing is. I know there's
God, I love that
there's
song.
pedestals
I can't
people
play it because I'll
love
get
to
copyrighted.
put you on,
Ugh.
and
I want to
at the
play that
same
song so bad.
you need that public equity. Like they can tear it down at the same time.
I don't know
Absolutely,
how
yeah.
I'm getting
And
home later
so
on.
I just know what the
I
game
don't
is.
even know it.
But what
You
I
know
always
it.
look for is
Take the pocket to the stage.
I don't think morning
and
shift
see them.
like
throw it.
the wider people. If you've seen us, you
Throwing
never
that
really
ass with
understand,
these booty going up,
like
down.
unless you
I ain't
know,
got no problem
if
with
you
another
probably listen to the
mama.
podcast,
What are
and
you
sit on
singing,
things,
Bo?
we've been able to get to the moments that we've been able to get to together, and it's that's what I look for. I look for that quiet, genuine moment where a bro will pull me aside and be like, "Fuck, I don't really want to tell you this part, bro." It's always kind of like to me that space to me is like I'm so that's special to me.
Yeah.
You know, because it's almost like it just has to flow out because there was some kind of we were able to facilitate some kind of space of authenticity that they were able to feel in their life, and that's how. What I want to do is I want to make people laugh, and then I want to help people get through what they need to get through for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where the pedestal thing. Don't put
Play it,
me,
I dare you. I can't.
Put me next to you.
I can't. I'll get packed
Put
up.
us next to you.
I'll get packed up, man.
And let us be your cheerleaders. You
Yeah.
know and that's how
I want to play it so bad because I want to listen to it.
social media, bro,
It's stuck in my head, man.
all of that stuff. It's awesome and it's absolute putrid.
I would say, and I'm picking up what you're putting down. I would say there's a core audience that love you like that, though. I do, because they know you deeply. I think, as in, like, not deeply. They're not there with you every single day, but you can't fake
some of them
it.
think they are.
Yeah,
No
like,
jokes.
but you can't on a podcast every day. You can't really fake it. Like you eventually, it's
I'm
gonna
so
come
gone on
through
Patron.
your
I don't know
personality.
how I'm
Regardless,
getting
like,
home
the
later
way you
on.
talk
Like,
about
I don't even know it. You know it.
When was the moment? Oh, you've given
Bloody hell, man.
Quickly,
we got time.
You got time?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sweet.
Having fun here, bro.
Oh, appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it. Boys, actually, if you got time, actually, there's something just, and it, like, you know, I don't know why this all came together the way it did, but
Okay, cool.
yesterday, I'm just scrolling on YouTube. Oh, am I in a safe space again?
Yeah.
I'm say we're safety. Safety? Bro, I'm scrolling through YouTube, and the only reason I say this is because he's a fellow countryman. I'm scrolling through YouTube, and this, like, suggested video comes up. And it's this dude in a suit. He's singing live. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go into that. And I know you guys are huge. Like, music is like obviously everything, not everything, but means a lot. Anyway, so I go into it thinking, okay, this is going to be a good live singer. This guy starts singing, and it's the voice of a goddamn angel. It is the voice of a goddamn angel.
What the hell? What's up, Galaxy? Yeah, the sliders are cool.
Of course.
Honestly, I haven't really noticed any difference.
The bro
Like,
teaks.
I mean, I changed the things that I wanted to change, but it kind of feels the same.
I don't know what
But,
I don't want to
You
do
know, I
none
only
of that.
had 2
But I
games,
feel like
so
sometimes everyone has got a bit of a gift towards.
I was kind of hoping for more like AI
talk, whatever it is.
related sliders. I do like the passing. Put my passing to veteran and play on pro, so the passing feels really good when it's on the veteran difficulty. It feels so good.
First time, look, I'm one of the most masculine men you guys know. Full test.
But yeah, I was hoping for more AI related ones.
Except for maybe when I see my kids.
You know,
Bro,
like
I was shedding
maybe
tears thinking about my wife listening the first time. That was one of the most beautiful songs.
you know,
I've
to
ever
kind of
heard in my
make the
life.
game a little bit more
Bro,
difficult.
You-
Well,
you
not
need to get to one of
difficult,
them
but to
shows.
make the
There's
AI
one
play a
in
little bit
Christchurch,
more
I think, coming up.
smarter.
Bro, if he ever comes to Australia, he needs
At the
to,
moment,
like,
my AI
his
is doing a lot of
voice
scoots
is
from
like
dummy half,
something I've
and
never heard in
I
my whole life.
don't know
He'll-
what
he'll
slider
host
that
the crowd
was,
and he'll be
but
up there for like 2 hours.
currently
He'll
doing
sit
a
in
lot
the
more
seat,
than
stand up,
what I want them to.
He's not
I
putting
kind of
on
want
the
to,
show in terms of,
like, I wish there was a slider to kind of prevent them from dummy half dashes like every fucking play.
Oh,
It's like every play,
inverse of
literally
the
every
weekend in
play.
the sense of, like, obviously got that weekend's got that really high.
It's kind of annoying.
beautiful voice, but it's like the inverse of that. I reckon it's better than Gideon's voice.
He's spiritual.
Not
But
to
yeah,
be
it's cool.
terrible,
At
but
least we got
I
him.
think the voice-
At least we got him.
I'm just
I
saying,
don't mind them.
I'm just
That's for
saying,
sure. I don't
and
mind
I saw
them.
last album 2021. I was like, wow, who is robbing us of this
It's
beautiful
just
voice?
yeah, the game at the moment, like it's been this way for a while. The dummy half runs from the AI, the most annoying thing. It's been this way for months now, though. So
The plan for me.
Let us talk to
Oh,
you
shit.
now. Come on now.
hopefully we can
fair
get
for
some
me.
sliders to change
Let me
that
look into
because
it.
yeah, it's the one thing that
for
kills the
me,
game
we're
for me.
Probably going to have some new shows next year, I think.
Cool.
There's some
Like
things like
there'll be
radio
one
stuff that
dummy
might
half
be
run,
moving
you
around
tackle
there.
the guy.
Yeah.
There'll be a second dummy half
Doubling
run,
radius,
everybody's
you
offside,
can-
you tackle the guy. There'll be a third dummy half run, everybody's offside, you tackle the guy. It's like repetitive.
Yeah.
But he called me at the start of this year actually, and he said he wanted to get into more like
Good.
leadership stuff. And
A
it makes
rugby
sense,
league
you just
game
got
shouldn't
to
feel
go to the
repetitive.
Broncos now, granted, you're welcome, Broncos fans. That was on me. I allowed it, But yes,
That's self-serving though, right? Because he ends up helping your team.
of course.
Black
I
bro,
appreciate it.
party in the
Appreciate it.
backyard.
Back to back,
Shotty
let's
got
go.
the black bra showing.
No, but yeah, see, he's like, I
Add-
want to get into more like leadership. stuff.
We are making the Steelers, Isaac.
Of course, I'm stoked. To be honest,
Gonna do a couple old school
rugby league
logos because there's a
position,
couple
the game
couple
needs
people
his
on
mind
the
in it
in the
as much as
community that
possible.
make
Even though
old
I
school
selfishly
teams,
love
but they're
to keep
using
going.
the
So I'm-
updated
I
logos.
kept
So
doing that just,
might as well send
one
some
out
love
and
their
I've got
way
to
and
keep a scope
throw
on for
some
me to join me for the
of
last hour.
the
Now, that
old
might
school
tweak when the
logos at
date's
'em.
done. However,
So then they can use them.
There's definitely going to be some other podcasts coming in next year.
and then we can get some
outside
more
of that,
fire
it's
on
just-
the community.
It's just content, sports content.
That's
what
it.
is, bro.
What about the Warriors, bro? How do we win it next year?
What are we
I
saying?
mean, I know you're Brisbane, but let me just talk
Yeah,
about
no,
my
no,
Turned it all to
no,
Max and
no,
it
no,
was
look,
crazy.
To be
Hell
honest, it
yeah.
all hinges on Metcalf staying injury free, really. If he stays injury free,
Get to the
You
dance.
think we got a chance?
Could get to the dance, right?
top four. You probably finish top four.
Yeah.
You get to the.
Then
look,
it's anyone's game, right?
I will. No, I will say I just don't know if you got the roster to when they go up that extra gear,
Yeah.
like the Storm, the Penrith, and the Broncos. Now, are you building to that roster? Absolutely, you're building to that roster. Like your juniors, it's the first time. So 2 or 3 years ago, might be 2 years ago, was the first time that you had all the way 16s to first grade. Never had that before. And
Okay.
all we did as Aussies would just poach your talent. Thank you.
That's
thank
sick,
you,
G.
premiership,
Yeah, it's pretty
thank you.
cool.
And so that's probably not going to happen as much anymore. And
it's almost
also,
done
rugby
anyways,
in,
but
in New Zealand, All
we'll
Blacks will
do a
always
couple
be,
more.
the top. I'm not pretending that's the case. But locally, there is a
uploaded
case to be
the
made that there are a
Chargers-
lot of young
the
Kiwis who
Chargers
think, you know what,
yesterday.
the Wires are hot right now. They're selling out.
So if anybody makes
then
the
there might be a
Chargers,
few Union guns that go.
got the logo
you know
there
what,
for 'em.
There's just so much money in league now, bro.
Mate,
When I was going
this is
through it-
something that you'll probably find interesting. I'm not sure if you know this, but a lot of our top rugby players are more inclined to watch rugby league,
Yep.
which then does shift the dial
Yeah.
to make those decisions whether or not our rugby players are
And like, if you're a young All Black coming through, New Zealand Warriors could probably offer them like $200,000 or $300,000 a year
100%.
as a 17-year-old.
Yep.
Whereas you're just not going to get that in Union, bro. Like the money has changed so dramatically in league that you will eventually get these young All Black guys going. Listen, like, yeah, I'd love to play for the All Blacks one day, but 200 or 300 grand at 17, like 18.
I reckon
bro,
the
like,
Warriors
also too, that's something
are
that
low-key
we probably don't talk about enough,
turned into
is
a big franchise.
the influence that Toa Samoa and Matamata Tonga have had on
Yeah,
that
great
next
point.
generation
Yeah.
of
Yep.
rugby
Like, I reckon-
players
I
going,
reckon
"Actually,
Warriors are
I
getting up
turned
there
to a
with the
sold-out,
All Blacks.
Go Media Stadium or a
They
sold-out
just need a
park to
premiership.
watch the Kiwis versus Tonga or the Kiwis versus Samoa. That's a
When they
whole
win that
different
first
changes
premiership,
generational
fuck me
decisions.
dead,
Yeah,
bro. They're going to be a
but
massive
still,
franchise.
again, the
Like, you
attention
watch
and
how
attention
many
that rugby league is
people
getting in
jump
our country
ship
at the
to the
moment.
Warriors.
And to be fair, like the Northern Tour that the All Blacks have just completed, as well as they did, there's still disappointment there that we lost to England at Twickenham. There's a disappointing feel. Right now, though, there's a real fan base that's all in on Toa Samoa or all in on Tonga or are really proud of what the Kiwis were able to do. So
Hell yeah.
there's movement. There's a lot of movement, and I think too long we've sat there and gone, rugby's still the number one.
Too big to fail kind of thing.
Yeah, too big to fail. If it was me, after this season, after what the Warriors have been able to achieve,
That's sick, G.
Sold out stadiums to what the Kiwis have done and what Toa Samoa.
But yeah, there's a few logos I've uploaded. I've uploaded the early 2000s Parramatta Eels logo.
It's exciting.
They're not going to make the right plays, and I think that's what sad to see for rugby
What else
fans.
did I
too.
do?
Mark, we know that.
Is that the only one I
whoever's in
did yesterday?
control Is not going to make the
No, I
plays.
think I did
that
3.
need
I
to
can't
help
remember though.
Do you think
to
too
help
conservative?
rugby.
I'll show you in a
to
sec.
help rugby, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Pardon me.
Conservative, yeah, and maybe a little clueless.
Yeah.
Like there's
That's what happened in this country.
Yeah.
Too clueless, too conservative, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
do
yeah, and I
the
think
old
that
school
we're
Panthers
suffering
logo
from that.
soon.
The world has moved
The
forward
circular one.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Well,
so
I
now
will-
we're starting to see. a
Already
team
got
that
the
was
head
based
one,
purely
the
on
one
winning,
from the early
no
2000s.
longer
Already
winning.
have that on the
And Jordan mentioned it the other day. What is
thing.
the story now?
Yeah.
What do we connect to as a fan base? And there's a big identity crisis going on.
It's true.
In my opinion, in rugby,
Yeah.
and where there's no identity crisis because culture is front and foremost in rugby league, is excelling in our country.
Yep. I think as well, like the thing that League has done recently quite well is they've just lent into the entertainment of it all. Like they've lent all the way into like, let's just go crazy. Let's just be crazy.
I need to go
Yeah,
make a
of course,
sandwich.
we're
I'll
gonna
be
have
back.
controversies here or there or whatever.
I'll just quickly.
But at the end of the day, we're in the entertainment business.
That's
I
it.
think Landy's is kind
Stop being so worried about protecting the
I'll
shield.
give you
the
something
NRL
to
shield.
watch
The other
just
thing I
while
noticed you said then is that
having a
the
feed.
Warriors may not have the cattle of the big four teams. You mentioned the Storm, the Panthers, and then you mentioned the Broncos.
Yep.
The Broncos weren't in that conversation maybe 2-3 years
Sit here
ago.
and watch this for a
So
second.
that gives me hope as a Warriors fan that if the Broncos can get into those top 3 where they have the cattle to be able to push it with the top teams.
Yep.
Warriors, man, we might be one or two songs off.
Also, that incurring data though too, like of making the top 8. Like we're doing that, and that sets a culture, that sets a standard.
100%.
So I'm not an idiot. I don't think we can win next year, but if we get
We're
another
building.
top 8, if we can
You got
get to
Webby
the
at
top
the helm.
4,
Bro.
Yep.
then that's those young players coming up. Like that's the standard. That's what we're gonna do. Like,
Look what Webby's done with players that have either been solid NRL players or struggled to even make sides.
Shawnee.
Like, oh, I didn't say that, bro. You said that.
You know what I mean?
no, you're right though.
Like he came back and
Yeah.
he was there, and
It's a
the
good
next thing
point.
he's knocking
It
on
is
the
true.
door.
Him getting Dally M or him at the start of the season would have been paying like $36, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, mate, well, I'll be honest. I'll never forget that season that he had. I was saying that if he doesn't play well in the first couple of weeks, he'll be dropped
Yeah.
on that side. That's how close. And then he obviously came out and that's what champions do. I think with New Zealand as well. Like, and I've always been a big believer in this. Is like, it essentially should be the New Zealand side. Like that should be,
Totally.
or like yes, okay, 1 or 2 Aussies or whatever. I know Samoa Tonga. Like, there's obviously a complicated history there. Like, of this is a Samoan person that grew up in New Zealand or whatever, or was brought across. But like, it should be basically when the when the Kiwi side gets selected, it's essentially most of the New Zealand Warriors. In my opinion, that's what it should be, because you know, you look at some of these grand final sides. We've got, and I say we, but I mean like the Australian sides, have all your best Kiwis. Like, look at the Melbourne Storm for so long. Had your Kiwi captain for most of the time. You know, like
Roger at Roosters.
yeah. Like, and so I think that's going to change, bro. And I think that guys like Leka, Valmunga, sorry if I'm butchering those names, that if they can just like do similar to what the Broncos boys did, like Paddy Carrigan and Payne Haas, and said, we'll take pay cuts, we'll stay loyal to each other, Walshy, all those boys, they've got the talent to win a premiership.
chance to
It's
do
just a
something.
matter of they got to do it. They got to follow through, and it's going to take time. Like, Payne Haas took the Broncos from a wooden spoon. There's an image of him and Paddy Carrigan. Paddy Carrigan's resting his chest. Have you seen that image?
Yeah.
So Paddy Carrigan's, this is when they're young as shit. 2020, 2020, I think it is. He's resting his head on Payne Haas's shoulder, and they are broken young men. Like, 20 years old, what the hell? This is the famous Broncos jersey. How are we here right now? The same picture, they're winning a premiership 5 years later. Paddy Carrigan's on unders, Payne is on unders. I know he's still on a lot, but you know, unders compared to what he did elsewhere. So if the New Zealand Warriors are willing to make that sacrifice, I do think the talent is not a question, and it's never been a question for the Warriors. Go look at the under-20s comp. They used to pump every team.
No explanation, no words. I need a winner for next year's State of Origin
Queensland,
and a winner of the Rugby League World Cup.
Australia.
Okay,
So,
hit and up.
don't-
You know what I don't like? You know what I haven't liked? You know what I haven't liked about Australia not being like playing over the Ashes, and I feel like some of these fans, Kiwis fans, some more Tonga fans, like let's keep it 100. Australia could probably clap these teams 9 out of 10 weeks if they play.
I reckon.
We need a not, you know, and then because you don't want to give these guys. Can we shut up? Like I saw some comments like, "Oh, bring on Aussie," and that. Shut up! These guys need to feel like no one doubts them. They don't need any extra motivation.
It's a good point. It's a good point. We love that shit.
Do not give the.
Sweet as then straight away, we'll say it now. The Kangaroos are winning the Rugby League World Cup. You guys are too good.
I will say this.
Where is the Rugby
complacent.
World League Cup? In Brisbane?
Oh, it's all around here,
All
right?
around.
No, where's
Yeah.
the final being played?
It'll be Sydney, surely.
Probably Suncorp.
You know if it's at Suncorp?
Oh, really?
Aussie could lose.
Is it Suncorp?
Don't say it. We don't need to say it.
You know,
guys are gonna
where's
win.
the Suncorp?
I feel like a venue, depending on who could
Shit,
get to that
Benji, we
game.
there one time.
Can I say this? I'll say this, and I'll say this with, you know, I'm going to take my Australian hat off, which I don't often do.
You hate our forward pack, eh? You
That forward
hate
pack,
that
listen.
Kiwi forward
You
pack.
son of a.
Oh,
I've got to say, I've been with some dogs. I've trained with some fucking dogs. You know, the Webkeys, the Petros, the Brad Thorns.
Oh, come on now. Those are the good three.
He's a goat.
Bro, one of the most underrated goats all time.
Unreal.
Doesn't get spoken about enough.
For
Brad
real.
Thorn. I never forget one of the first times I met him. I was in the gym, and I was like, pro. Soccer player would have been like 80 kilos. Just so light, so little. Anyway, so I'm in the gym and I'm doing like we never did bicep curls, but like some kind of fucking. Actually, Barrow always used to say you need to do bicep curls. You got to look the part. But anyway, so I was doing whatever exercise it was. Anyway, Brad Thorne walks behind me and he goes. Like this, stands up, goes like that, and he goes, "This is what a real man looks like." Yeah. And then walked off.
He said that?
Yeah, big dog. He can too.
And he was true. He was
proven.
right, man. What am I supposed to say to that? I was like, you know what? You got a point
You're
there.
about to say something about our forward pack.
Yeah. As I said, I've been and trained and played with some dogs, but this forward pack.
Give me a second, just got one more thing off.
Is one of the most trenches forward pack you'd ever want. If I'm in a trench right now, I want those boys in the trench with me. They love that shit. Seeing Moses Leota look at Jason Damalolo and go, let's have a go. See, we already know Fish and Leota's resume speaks for itself. We don't need to talk about that. Tarpanair, he hunts anyone. He hunts anyone. And then you've got guys coming off the bench to win. Dally Ems, you've got White, who the Roosters are going to build a whole forward pack around.
How good is White,
bro? Then you've got guys like Xavier Willison that was one of, I thought in the 2 games he played in the finals, obviously Payne was great against Penrith, but in the grand final, I thought he was one of the best forwards on the field. Bro, he's young as well. He's also, his Instagram tag is Mr. Stand on Business. Like, how do you get better than that? How do you get better than that, bro?
He looks about 7'2" out there.
Oh, bro. So anyway,
we stood Nas down too. He was.
Yeah, Nas was inside. Nas was inside. So listen, like, I just think,
So I want to make a prediction because I'm a bloke because I want this to be clipped and then I want to feel like I'm the man. I think on all accounts, not putting aside my national pride and the love I have for Samoa, Tonga, Kiwis, on all accounts, Aussie should win the World Cup next year. My thing is, depending on what team and what fans can get to the game, I think the only day you can beat Aussie is if you make it spiritual, not just a physical game.
Oh, shit, okay.
You know what I mean? And
bring the mana.
You know, going to a Tonga game, you know, like hearing the hymns and all of that.
Incredible.
But that's all I want to say.
Yeah. But I'll agree with you in the sense that, like, don't give us some ammo because as Queenslanders, listen, I say this is a joke all the time, but like a tiny part of me thinks it. Like, Australian spirit is just Queensland spirit borrowed. But anyway. Oh, shit, don't say that.
I agree with that.
But we love hearing that shit as Aussies. We go, oh, okay, so we're the underdogs again. No worries, we'll lean into that. Someone's got the flu this week. Someone can't play, and then they all roll out. And
who will the Kiwis halves be?
Dylan Brown, Jerome Hughes.
It's not bad, man.
I'm just saying.
Look at him.
Oh, shit.
No chance.
Okay, it'll be Cles Munster probably. I call him Cles. Close mate. But then we got Mitchell Moses in the wings. We got Ethan Strange, Ezra coming through. Shit.
That's gonna be so good. It's such a good World Cup, bro. I'm so.
Bro, you know what? 10 years ago, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. You'd probably be sitting there going, fuck this guy not playing for Samoa. Why is he playing for Samoa? Now you're saying, bro, you've got this, like the fact that Tino might be in the Samoan side and probably will be in the Samoan side come World Cup. Yeah, changes it. Tino Payne Haas in your front row, bro.
With Hammer there now too.
With Hammer there as well.
And Critter's going to play.
Critter, To'o, Tungor, Taylor May, Terrell May, who didn't get used on the bench. Don't understand why. Bro, it's incredible. And then, like, I know they didn't have a great series, but Katoa with Tonga, like, bro.
They got a chance.
So good. It's so good. Bro, boys, I've got to let you go. I don't want to be the guy that holds you back from your next thing. Thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations on everything you've achieved. The morning shift. You guys have got to listen to it daily. Each morning?
Yep.
Each morning, daily. The best in the business, the biggest podcast in the Oceania, probably bigger than that as well. You don't want to miss it. On Instagram, look, I don't need to say follow them. They're already, 1.5 million on TikTok, 800K on Instagram, probably, 1.5 to 2 million downloads a month, just quietly.
Just 3 good dads.
Oh, shit. Boys, I really do appreciate you guys coming straight from the airport into here. I do appreciate it, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks, boys.
Grumpy.
2 seconds, almost done. Bop, bop, bop. Throwing that ass for days. Booty going up, down. I ain't got no problem spending all of my money. Trying to see what's up. Now,
hello and welcome everybody to episode 8 of the Rugby League Roundtable.
Sorry, I needed to have some food.
James Graham. I'm joined by Andy Seabold, Matt
Pardon me.
Cameron and Buzz Rothfield.
Pardon
As
me.
always, gents, we're going to go into the state of officiating. I'd just like to start by clarifying a few things. There is no such thing as a linesman in a game of rugby league. They exist in football, soccer, but not rugby league. Very confusing when you hear people say linesman.
Yeah, it's a touch
Linesmen
judge.
don't exist.
Otherwise, who calls them linesmen? Touch judge.
They're touch judges.
Yeah,
They
nobody
don't
calls
do
a
it,
linesman.
But they're touch judges. Mate, this is a very hard segment.
That's you saying that, Buzz Rothfield, not me. I'm
But
just
this
saying
is a really tough segment
there's a
for these two guys because they banned from any criticism at all.
well, we can
I can't recall a C.
Blackyard, party in the blackyard.
critique.
What was that?
Of course,
Hey, yo.
Yeah,
What's that?
we
Yo?
can advise. We can
Shawty got that black
ways
bra
we can
showing.
improve, Buzz.
Editor,
Sure.
ass better enough.
you-
She
you
a
and I
bad
could
bitch and she already know it.
Certainly,
Yep.
Yes, she know it.
get
Yeah,
stuck
she
in.
know it. She a bad bitch
I
and
mean,
she
I
already
guess-
know it.
Sometimes I
She make it
I
drop
feel sorry
then
that
jiggle.
the
Go to the
referees
show
get the
in.
blame when I think a lot of the issues
Booty
come from
bigger than
the
a summer
bunker,
win. I'm in the
um,
stage every time
or
Shawty
maybe the
throw
rules
in.
of engagement around crackdowns, interpretations, focus points.
Booty at the booty,
how
slow
they
motion.
differ
I'm so gone on Patron.
from the
I
beginning
don't
of the
know
season,
how
the
I'm
middle of
getting
the
home
season,
later
the
on. Like,
origin,
I don't
sort
even
of
know
sort
it.
that out.
You know it.
You know, each and every year, maybe
Send a pocket to the
new
stage.
rules come into
and
play,
shoot it, throw
or
it.
new areas of
throw it,
focus. Play
throw
the
in
ball
that
was,
ass
was
for
one
days.
that
Booty going
from
up,
season 2020.
down.
What about the head
I ain't got no
tackles
problem
between
spending
the
all of my
two?
money. Trying to
You
see
know,
what's up.
Didn't we have 16
Now
players in
I
bid
can do
once
this
we
all
changed-
day like it ain't
then they
nothing.
changed it?
Black
But it
bro,
wasn't a crackdown.
Shawty in the
What are these
backyard.
guys, Jim?
It is. So I guess
Shawty got the black bra showing.
Do is
Alright.
how would we, as minds of the game,
Bad enough,
improve
ass
the
bad
current
enough. She a
situation?
bad bitch and she
Steve, I'm
already know
gonna
it.
come to you as
Yes,
a
she
coach.
know it. Yeah,
What
yes, she
do you
know it.
think
She a bad
could
bitch
be
and she
done
already
to
know it.
help dial
Yes, she
down
know
the
it.
noise
Yeah,
on the
yes,
match
she know it.
officials and make
She make it drop then jiggle. Go do a show in.
the game better, but make the job easier for them.
Yeah, well, I actually gave my opinion. I was invited out to talk to all the referees, coaches from the NRL last week, and
'Kay.
one of the things I
Done.
said was how can dilute the interference. So there's a lot of people talking to the referees. You've got everyone mic'd up, so that would be one way. The second way, like I suggested to them, was like, how can they speed up the bunker? Like, if we're going to use technology, like,
The process has got to go a bit quicker.
Yeah, and then
Bam.
before versus what we done
Dunsky.
before. Like, are we happy with a
Can
certain
we get
amount of
much
of
higher?
human
Oh, we
error?
made
Like,
4 logos yesterday.
Rocky
Not
Brothers,
the spin.
where I'm from, there's
Like,
a certain amount of
2 hours.
human error each week. That's the second thing. But also from a review point of view, like, how can they narrow their focus? Like, rather than look at everything, like if referee A gets reviewed after a game, like what's the 2 or 3 things that are most important for his next game, rather than go through 10, 12, 13, 14 things.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest, a couple of big areas, I
Give me a
think.
second.
Because you can get bogged down in the detail. There's so many decisions. Again, I don't know exactly how many, but like, what is there, 200 odd, plus play the balls in the game.
Go and have a look at some
What is there, 40
logos.
sets, 6 play the balls per set, 240.
You could argue that the laws of the game are broken every single play the ball.
Well, potentially, if you go look, if you went looking, but I mean, there's a lot of decisions. So there's at least 240 decisions on those play the balls, and then you've got offside, you've got interference of the ruck, you've got chasers, on kick.
Booty bigger than a
chasers who are
summer
offside.
win.
There's-
I'm in the
there's all
stage
sorts of
every
things
time
they've gotta
Shawty
make.
throw
And
in.
so, look,
Shawty throw
the
in.
game's never
So
been better from
that's
a
in the game.
spectacle point of view.
The
I think we're all
Giants, I
agreeing
think,
so
is in the
last
game,
year's
or
final
at least
series
it's
was
all the necessary
2025
components are in the
final
game to
series was
make it.
probably all time, you know, from a spectacle point of view and a closeness. So, there's plenty of things they're doing right, but there's a couple of areas that potentially they could look at, even improve the product even further and help the referees even further.
Matt, what about you? I think casting my mind back to you're playing a home game against the Melbourne Storm.
Yep. I think that's already on here.
I think shoulder charges blocker, Moses Liotta, I think it was from memory. What are your thoughts on where match officiating
just quickly look up wrist
improved?
Well, for starters, I think it's the hardest gig in the game, to be honest. Outside of the playing group, it's. I
swear I've seen it on here.
Like we talk about them too much.
What's that guy's username? I've got to go see what this guy's username is.
I think that'd be great.
I think he added it. I've got to go have a look. I know I've seen it. For some reason, I feel like Big Ant's removing logos. I feel like I've seen logos on here, and now I can't find them. That's his username, Valhalla.
By name.
Valhalla.
You know, like we don't, you know, like they're personalities in our game in some way, shape, or form. You know, the best 8 or 10 referees.
Yeah, the match official is named.
Yeah, we know who they are.
Or the ref.
And as Steve's alluded to, like, you know, the amount of technology in our game now. Like
Okay, apparently he doesn't. He's.
Am
I spelling it right?
Through broadcast, at least with a stump mic, you know, Channel 9 can turn it up or turn it down, or they can dictate what goes on there. I think it's an incredibly hard game. I suppose.
Cunt. What?
You know, I have a teaching background.
What's wrong with this fucking game?
One teacher and.
His username's right fucking there.
Outside the field and 26 kids.
It's right there.
For 80 minutes, like. I
Let
just. Think
me take a picture of his name real quick.
I think there's an opportunity for us to, you know, not. I don't mean work with the referees, but there's definitely an opportunity for the game, in my opinion, to de-emphasise the way.
This game is so strange, bro. The
Address
searching system.
Talk about them.
Rugby League, you search Rugby League Live 4. You search up.
On a week-to-week basis, and just let them do their job. And
you search up Parramatta, and you get all the Parramatta Eels stuff.
And
but
no one's immune from
search up fucking Parramatta or
the
Eels on
more
this,
I
and you don't get fuck all.
Feel like they should
annoying.
be. They are they do get a good package though.
Well remunerated. Yep.
Yeah.
But they're front and
So
center.
Like you got to search the whole
they
name.
should be
How
on.
stupid
They
is
should be
that?
on good coin.
You could
But
make an argument. You could make an
we're talking
argument.
about.
You could make an argument it should be on even more.
We're talking about the pressure they're under with all these voices
Username.
in their ears, and they've got
Apparently,
the bunk in their
apparently
ear,
there's
they've got
nothing
us judges, and they've got a referees coach,
Yeah,
and they're in
Vagabond.
charge.
Apparently that
of
username does not
charge
exist,
to play
like,
the ball
whatsoever.
speed. Charge of 6 again.
Alright, then.
You used the phrase that they're in charge of entertainment.
Well, they are. Look,
I guess he, I don't know, deactivated his account or something.
Graham Annesley and Andrew Abdo this year, and I walked into Andrew's office, and they had a big spreadsheet set up with every.
Because I just wanted to see if
every game.
those
and
logos
a
were
points
up.
ranking
That looks pretty good.
for their overall performance in all these different categories. Where I say they're in charge.
Apparently he doesn't have that.
Level of the game, and you know, ball in play stats.
I guess he's gone.
The two
Okay.
particular lines.
Even though his username's still in the system, none of his logos are.
Every single
Very interesting.
in
This game is
every
awesome.
Single game they do is measured. So is the 10-meter.
I'm gonna go have a game because
in every single.
I don't feel like fucking around with that just right now.
Right. Now they're
I'm
ranked
so
on this. What they're ranked. That's why. So what they're expected to do to get compliance, to get a good play of the ball, to go to the top of this chart with G and
Booty, I went up,
Klein,
down. I need to actually see something.
Is get a quick play the ball. The only way they can get a quick play the ball. See, the game had a wrestle problem, didn't it, years ago? We all agree with that. There was too much wrestling. So that's when the 6 again came in, right? So they put the emphasis on the referees to use the 6.
Shotty got the black bra showing. And let me see if that's a difficulty setting in here. Maybe that's why it didn't feel too different.
Or then penalties. And same with the 10
let's see,
metre.
is it in here?
That's why
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so you got to activate it. Slider diff. Alright, let's go see how my sliders play.
Fans in a lot of games this year that they're too
Shotty got the black bra showing.
As I said, that's what they're getting judged on.
She a bad bitch and she already know it.
Ball in play stats. speed of the play, the ball stats, 10-meter compliance.
The ball in play.
Now this isn't got nothing to do with everything else. That their fitness, and they get fatigued like footballers in the 80th minute. You know that, mate. They're worth every single penny they're on.
Well, like I say, if you
no game is scrutinised like rugby league. No game is.
Okay, I'll come back to that point, because I think it's a little bit about technology and the bunker.
Jim, what you could do. This is 100% correct.
Can we get much higher?
You could get a 1980s game of rugby league and have 24 cameras there, right? You'd find 50 referee mistakes. You would, because there was only one game televised then.
Yeah, I think.
Right.
I think though.
Let's see how it plays now.
People can accept a loose carry.
They said they
or a ball steal
improved the
subjective.
The rate of
I've been part of that education piece with
backup
the NRL come
players. So hopefully we can see a bit of that.
Numerous examples of of incidences that happen at NRL level, and they ask the playing group to say,
"Oh, there we go. The actual AI is playing some footy. Let's go."
And you go, it's a toss of a coin. Is it a ball steal or is
offside?
it a loose carry?
Fuck's sake!
I don't know. I think most people.
It was playing some footy for a second.
When their side.
Fuck you, Roosters.
Green against them. But I think that the frustration of fans is the fact that we go to the bunker, or we have this bunker interference, or we have rules like...
I've made it so that the AI steps a little bit more frequently and also bumps off a little bit more frequently. But also has hit-ups more frequently, like that. See, that's good. That is good. No!
The person coming down to charge the ball down.
See, that's some good footy right there.
They get the penalty.
Yeah,
that's some
because
good footy.
blew up when someone broke a leg. That's why they did that.
Well, okay, so...
Okay. Scrums are still fucked.
We've got
Scrums are still fucked.
Thing now that the kickers and halfbacks like Cleary and Cherry,
they're janky. I wouldn't say they're fucked, but they're janky.
You're saying we've got a black and white interpretation of pressure on the kicker, but we've not got a black and white interpretation on other areas of the game. So I get what you're saying about things being black or white, but it's not the same. A test match recently, Cameron Munster runs behind Angus Crichton, scores a try, and it is given at test match level. At test match level. Like, me as a commentator, I don't want to be commenting on the incompetence.
Here we go.
Of
see how they play down here.
Because that for me is incompetence. You've never been allowed to run behind a player, and people may argue, but
there we go. That actually, wow, that's so much better. This is pro difficulty as well, but
that your line of sight, as soon as a player goes behind a player, your line.
It's kind of how I kind of want it to feel.
You've created an
I want the AI to be doing evasive maneuvers.
That player drops to the floor.
This feels pretty good.
Tackle, realizes they've made an infringement. They can't take an advantage. But then, and it happens at levels at the NRL where...
Yes. I took the cool... Oh, nice. I took the cooldown of offloads. Like, it's basically... Like, I could probably offload it a little bit more frequent now as well. You know, that's one thing that's annoying. No, you can't.
And yet that's reviewed.
Connor Watson, you cock.
I get why the referee would miss that. 100%. Latrell... Exactly. Exactly. The bunker shouldn't. And
yes, give me that.
The level of frustration of fans is we put technology in. We accept human error. We don't accept
3 steals in 2 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah, you make a good point. Like if it's live in the game,
I might.
We miss it.
You can understand.
I did put the. I actually did put the. What do you call it? Up a little bit more. The stripping, so that they don't happen as often. But
what's going on here? Happens so fast.
Might have to readjust it. Maybe I did it the wrong way.
With video referee, you get that.
But so far, this feels pretty good.
I don't understand how the bunker gets consistently things wrong.
I know one of Ivan's bugbears is situations where a try is scored and awarded, and points go up on the scoreboard. And as a fan, you adopt a mindset of where the game is at the moment.
Yeah.
And then it's reviewed, and then it'll walk backwards. Like we should never be
put the score up.
But we never should be saying we're up by 10.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not. We're up by 6. I know that's one of Ivan's bugbears from a coaching point of view.
Yeah, I don't like the I don't like the reviews after tries. Like, if a try is awarded by an official, just award the try. Who cares?
That's what it comes down
like,
to.
let the official make the decision.
At different grounds every
Like,
weekend.
waiting for a try confirmed is so annoying.
You're never ever going to get perfect consistency.
But you just.
But the area of the game that needs.
If the referee calls it a try, it's a try. The bunker can't overrule it.
I am with
It
you
should be
100%.
like that.
Like, so when I made those comments around.
Like, it may be controversial, but at least the referee is actually making a decision and not relying on the bunker.
In that prelim, in the dog semi-final,
They'll slow it down and they'll see like a slight knock on. It's like, nah, overturn. It's like, in fast motion, that's a try.
But if that is the rules of engagement,
But when you slow it all the way down, it's a no try. Come on, stop doing that, man. It's making the game boring.
Was that, Jim? Sorry.
It's just,
someone
it just annoys me.
Yeah, right.
from memory.
Referees don't do anything in the game.
Kick out charges down the kick. He's going through for me. Dylan Edwards made an illegal play, and it was a professional foul.
The one I
in my
couldn't work
opinion,
out.
and I think if that would have been given, respectfully speaking, I don't think Ivan Cleary would have complained in the post-match press conference. I think that would have been widely accepted as. Steve's nearly gone there.
Nearly gone.
I think that would have been widely accepted as an acceptable decision.
The one
That AI is a lot more difficult, man.
could not
I like
work
it.
out was in the national capital semi-final, the greatest epic I've ever seen. The final, Brisbane, Canberra. Hudson Young got headbutted, then sin binned.
Yes, bro.
Headbutted.
You already went over this, Buzz. You've spoken about this like 4 times, bro. Who cares? It's over.
You know? And they're the sort of things. There are no excuses. You guys been to the bunker? You've seen inside? You've seen the quality of their screens? They're better than Harvey Norman plasma.
They're better than Harvey Norman.
They've got all the stop frame gear. They've got 3 or 4 people in there. They get the best possible view. They've got time on this. They don't have to make it.
Thought I could pass it there.
You know, we want
Wish there was a slider for
make
quick
decisions
passes.
faster. I'm wondering if we use the I'm wondering if we use the bunker too much. And
Of course
the
we
Jed
do.
Stewart little fingertip up there. You know.
But so
that
on the
changed.
Jed Stewart fingertip, if that's what they've seen, fair enough. It's the right
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
Like that's what the bunker's there for.
Yeah.
Because some of those decisions
Can we
are
get
you couldn't judge with the naked eye.
Ooh,
That's why we
Marky
our
Mark trying to
game
do
is
something
so good,
fancy.
and the finishes are so exceptional that we need the bunker, but do
Oh
we
my
need it
God.
as much?
Oh my God.
Well,
Robert
there's
Toya.
arguments because I think they should do forward passes, the bad ones.
Fuck.
I do.
Oh,
Forward passes cost teams.
the slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
I know.
And
The blatant
I think
ones,
the
blatant
I think the
ones.
bunker should be able
And
to
I suppose with the-
overrule on forward
I
passes.
keep
We'll
coming back
call
to
it.
the commerciality of
I
our
think they
game
should.
at times. You know, I can fully comprehend that if you're a team with a semi-final spot on the line and there is a call that's a day later, everyone thinks no, it should have gone the other way, and that costs you 8th spot, and you become the first team in history to go from 8th to win the grand final. That could be a circa $4 million turnaround to your business. That's hinges on a technological aspect of what we're using as a game.
And people's jobs.
Yep.
Because it
For sure.
is a results-based industry.
Yep.
Like,
They all say it evens out over the year. You reckon it does?
well,
I don't know. Broncos get a lot of the calls for passes.
you know what though?
Then I'm not
it-
sure.
He can't
I can't say.
maybe it does. Maybe
You
it
get your
doesn't.
good and your bad.
But
Yeah.
all right, so Seeves as a head coach.
Fuck's sake,
right?
bro.
And we're talking about
I'm just holding
the
L2.
implications of
Like,
those decisions.
not
and we
trying
talk
to
about
make
the
a tackle
pressure on
there.
Referees, there's no more
But
people.
because
on
he's just
big-
close and
on
I'm holding
bigger pressure
L2,
than
it
the
just makes the
coaches.
tackle.
And the job,
Bro.
and you could argue, well, you get more wins under your belt. That could be the difference between top 8, top 4. But when Seibs goes to his end of season review, you can't say, well,
Oh,
that
Jesus.
2 points was, they apologise after. We should have got the 2 points. Then that puts us in 4th. And then if we play fourth, we would have won the comp. Scotty Penn, no worries.
Oh my fucking god, bro! That is crazy.
It doesn't work like that.
Credit where credit's due, and
low-key, the game should have been like this.
10 days ago, we got out like the NRL.
Low-key, the game should have been like this.
Producing like a lot of end-of-season reports.
The step, the throw, the step, the bump off. It's got the momentum taking him over. The game should have been like this from the start.
Like the Moses one.
Bro, the AI is cooking me right now.
And that was enough for him to give that penalty and miss that field goal. So, but you use that as an example. Like we win that game. Let's say we beat the Raiders
against the grain as well. Cut back through against the grain.
They were a top 4 team, and they were on grand final day. But at the end of the day, Moses moved. He didn't move a lot, but he moved.
Bro's getting wrapped right now. Yeah, I am getting wrapped.
Interpret the laws of the game to say, well, the rule says don't move, and you moved. So whether we all agree with it or not, but
as a game, sometimes do we go?
Please don't go out on the full.
So for me,
bro, the wind is blowing heavy against the ball. How's that out on the full?
What we're talking about was a ridiculous penalty.
Yes, sucked in.
Harry Grant had no aim of charging down the kick. You said he shoulder charged the ball.
But he knew the rules, so he ran in.
It doesn't matter. We shouldn't have a rule like that.
He tackled Moses Leota without the ball. It should have been a penalty. It should have been a penalty for the Penrith Panthers.
But it highlights he's a smart player. So.
He is. But then, so Buzz, you mentioned about the protection of kickers. Surely if you want to protect kickers, allow them to be blocked.
But again, even that as a rule, and I'm not defending the refs, but you coach your players every day of the week.
Let's go. Go, Ezra.
Do that. Do this. Like, attack the kicker in a different way.
But in that particular incident...
And the players know that, and if they...
In that particular instance, though, if I recall correctly, it was off the back of a line break.
Yeah, I can't remember. So,
yeah, it was.
But how does that change it? How does that change as he approaches the kicker?
Because Moses Leota would not have been prepared.
No, sorry, I'm talking Hoskins in the Canberra game. Sorry, I've jumped in. So.
Yeah, so when Moses was penalised, he can't be prepared.
Who threw that? Was that you, Peter Cora?
There in support.
Brendan.
He can't anticipate that Nathan's going to do the overcall to do a field goal. He can't disappear. He's thinking maybe I will get a run.
Yep. Sorry, I was referring to Hoskins in the game.
So. Steves, I want to ask you a question. And Jaden Campbell could have laid down for a penalty. I think in that goal
game you were talking about, the Souths game.
As a coach, are you disappointed if he doesn't?
So again, I just give us context.
So context is, I think Jaden Campbell was approaching the try line of South Sydney. It appeared as though contact with the head was made. We've seen many a player stay down in that situation, get the penalty, take the 2. Jaden Campbell played the ball. Gold Coast shift the ball, they make an error. And South Sydney get the ball, and subsequently the Titans miss out on the opportunity to take
the ball. Subsequently, the TV replay showed that if he'd stayed down, it would have been a penalty.
Yeah.
So I want to... And Jaden Campbell gets no...
This is a very hard question to answer, honestly.
Jaden Campbell gets no credit for that from his teammates. If that's under your watch, what are your words to Jaden? I know that's difficult to answer.
Yeah, it is difficult to answer. But one thing I will say is, we definitely don't teach our players to lie down. But the players are smart enough now to know that if they get a bump, around the chin or around the ear, that they'll be slow to their feet because they know that there's the replay. So again, there's nothing ever deliberate from myself. But look,
you're in the industry of winning games.
Yeah, no, but young Campbell, like he was obviously brave, to play on. But
I think it was just instinct for him.
It's a difficult one because I don't want our game to be like the EPL, right? Where players are taking dives,
simulation,
and falling over, and we saw that with obstruction rules for a few years. Like 3-man defenders or 2-man defenders would or 4-man defenders would fall over, and it was a bad look for our game. So, look, I think the referees sort of adjudicated a bit better on black and white there. It was a bit more grey. Like if you went to the outside, they score. You know, they allowed you to score a try if there was some sort of bump on the inside, and it's a couple of holes in. But yeah, no, I'm not telling Campbell to stay down. If we lost the game, I'm like, you should have stayed down. But we're not teaching those guys that. You know, it's we're not teaching those guys that. But the guys are smart. They know that there's replays.
Yeah. Would a way to take that away, players diving and staying down for penalties, which is a real bugbear of mine, to just remove the bunker from that situation? Unless it warrants, unless it warrants 10 minutes in the bin.
Yeah.
So that particular instance with Jaden Campbell, and forget this on report nonsense. If it's I don't want to see the bunker. Tell me, the viewer at home, that player's on report. I don't care if he's on report. What does that mean? Who cares?
Yeah.
That's next week's problem. The game is now.
That's what is frustrating when you're playing in that instance and the player stays on the field for foul play. But I'd much rather that. Stop the game or blow a penalty if the bunker intervenes and the person sent to the sin bin.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would much rather that. Otherwise, I'd be happy to go with the touch judges and the referee.
And we've seen some incidences this year where players gone back almost a whole set of 6.
Yep.
Which again, we got to. It's very complex, and we obviously we're going to touch on head injuries and concussions in a later episode, and we don't want to see them, but we also don't want to see the game go back 6 plays.
No, but the other part to this too is, you know, the broadcast sometimes draws attention. So when the play goes down, and the ref goes, you know, well, I think I saw that.
Oh, sorry, I'm
okay with it. He doesn't get up, and then 30,000 people in the stadium go when they, you know, like clearly that must.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it influences the referee, but clearly his awareness level must spike.
Oh my god!
And then
but then,
oh my god!
This again.
Let's go, Renault.
The match official in the middle.
There you go, Ren.
Starting to miss things. But then the bunker reviews it, and sometimes we see them go, just play the ball.
Pardon me.
And sometimes you see, oh no, that's on report. It's a penalty. Yeah, it's either play on,
run onto the ball. Can't.
This on report nonsense is just a waste of time. So and I think it encourages players to stay down, because any sort of contact with the head will be a reportable offence, which often just results in a fine.
Okay, it doesn't really feel like
the game, the spectacle.
The players are backing up that much.
Surely it's got to go to it's 10 minutes or it's play on.
Like a low-key doesn't really feel like that.
One of the very when they sort of took them up to that next level, one of the markers was motionless. So every now and again you get someone that gets clipped and they stay down. Technically they're motionless. So by being motionless, like the independent doctor or your club doctor should be, well, you've got to come to the sideline. And then the player goes, oh no, I've got nothing wrong with me. I didn't get the penalty, but I'm just going to lay down. And so define what motionless is. Is that half a second, 3 seconds? Like you're motionless. That was one.
The fuck, bro! Run onto the ball.
Triggers to remove you from the field of play for HIA. But we never prosecuted it. We never.
Yeah.
The game never went up.
But do your players? Sorry to interrupt, but Steve was asked a difficult question. Do your
no, come on, bro! Stop stealing the ball off me!
Try to milk a penalty?
Stop it!
I would be surprised if our players. I'd be surprised if our coaching staff were. Asking players to stay down on the ground.
Yeah, right.
You know, but I fully acknowledge that in the heat of the moment, players have never known the rules as well as they know them today.
Nice. All right, let's ask you a different question. Would you discourage it?
100%.
Players to stay down, even if it meant getting.
Oh my god!
To win a game.
Cost the Titans the game.
But that dovetails into the entire program and what you
just dived on my legs, bro. You could have broken my legs.
We make a promise to people when they
come on, ref. You gotta do something about that.
Play, but we're gonna make you a better person by the time you leave, and that doesn't.
Could have broken my legs.
Yeah, they don't line up. As far
That's interesting. So
where's his little nub finger? He has all his fingers, man. Not a nub finger. That's crazy.
You know, things that we're trying to instill in young men and hopefully young women at a point in time.
But the rules of engagement are. You're not going outside the rules of engagement. You're not using foul play. You're not cheating.
It's gamesmanship.
But at what point?
I don't even think it's gamesmanship. I think you're playing by the rules.
But at what point does poor gamesmanship turn into?
No, it's not. It's both. I don't think it's not cheating. It's not gamesmanship. It's playing by the rules. The rules are if you get hit in the head and you stay down, the referee may go to the bunker and will award a penalty. They're the rules.
Look, but there's different cases. Jimmy, there are some players do dive, right? And some players are legitimately cop a knock and are slow to get to their feet.
Yeah.
Because
yes, get it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then that player maybe should be sent to the sin bin.
And in our current climate, the way the game is at the moment, particularly things that have happened over the last couple of weeks, like, what official is going to say, get up? Like, you are going to wait for the head assessment. You are going to wait. You're going to tick all those boxes before play resumes. So, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And
big
like
kick return.
For me, the way to alleviate this, and it's not perfect, is to go in when any incident like that happens, you either send the player to the sin bin or you don't award a penalty. You just ask them to play the ball.
There was one suggestion that a possible deterrent to, staying down for a penalty was if you're on the deck for a certain amount of time, you've got to go off.
Yeah, well, that's what Matt's just said.
Yeah.
So, and I agree. I think if you make the case around motionless, I would argue a second.
Because again, like if you're motionless, the referee doesn't have the authority to make a determinant on
they're not doctors.
An injury assessment. The players surrounding him don't have the authority to do that. The bloke in the orange shirt is the start of it, and the doctor is the second part of it.
Why is the AI playing like
the third part of it? So there's a system.
Fucking prime Melbourne Storm.
See, just back to a couple of things Buzz was mentioning about we're in the entertainment industry, and one of the things.
Come on, don't go for another scoop. Thank God.
Yeah, they want quick playables, but they also don't. They want ball in play. Yeah. And they want set for set action. They want grind football, cycle football. But you as a coach knowing that.
Ooh.
Is the instruction to the player
to
push the envelope and know that they
I just absolutely cooked.
In terms of like the time on the ground, which then makes the play the ball speed slightly.
Look at these fucking hand though, man. They need to fix these arm fucking playing around animations.
Well, it's really interesting.
What the hell is this?
If I go back to 2024, we played the first 2 weeks of the finals.
That would have looked so cool if his arms weren't fucking flailing around.
The officiating of those 2 games were
Teddy just cooked me, bro.
Quite different to around.
I actually like the slider settings.
Allowing players to stay in the tackle a little bit longer. That was certainly something that we picked up in our review.
And it's on pro difficulty as well.
Yeah,
like that's the base level difficulty pro.
Like we've got some data that we.
The passing is on veteran.
Like ball and
and I think
the referees, as you said,
there's a couple other just random
judged on the speed of the play
stuff. Everything's pro, but the passing.
Origin games, although this year Origin.
Because I like the way the passing is on veteran. It's a lot cleaner,
generally
a lot better, a lot more fun.
Games allow for a little bit more in and around the ruck. But one of the things we've seen though is that winning to play the ball 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when wrestle was really big, that dictated whether you won the game or not. Look, it's not a win match.
Why does he just teleport the room?
The ball these days and still lose the game. And I'm talking about both sides of the footy.
It's interesting.
But to answer your question around
almost did it again.
Longest ball and play game we had last year was 62 minutes against the Broncos. I think the longest ball and play game all season was Panthers versus Rabbitohs, about 64 and a bit minutes. The longest cycle was over 12 minutes, which I think was Panthers and Storm, and our longest cycle was 9.5 minutes. So you think about 12, like that's like 12 sets.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine the fatigue that's put into the game.
No.
12 sets, but from a fan point of view, if you're sitting in the grandstand, you're loving it, aren't you? Like 12 minutes. And if you're in the grandstand watching Panthers play Bunnies and it's 64 minutes ball in play, and I've just said that the average England rugby test match was 36 minutes ball in play. Like, you get your money's worth, right? And so the referee's got to try and find that balance a bit. But one thing we've seen is that it's not a win metric, the ruck anymore. Whereas I think, 10 years ago, it definitely was. You won the ruck, you won the game. But it seems to be that play the ball speed somewhere in and around the 3.4, 3.5, 3.6 seconds. Almost like that's the golden, that's the sort of golden rule that they're looking for, Buzz. Like anything over 4 seconds is definitely.
Let's go, Shiba.
Or 6 again, but they're sort of, it looks as though most games we see that's pretty standard. Per play the ball.
But by the same token, you don't want to get to a point where, 1 or 2 times.
These passes, bro.
Just shoveling.
Yeah.
There was no attempt.
We went nowhere. I think we went backwards, actually.
I think sometimes there's a aesthetic to watching the game. When you watch a good game.
Fuck! I wanted another offload.
Players are making good tackles. It's early catching and passing. It's crisp. They get up and play the ball properly.
Fuck! I wanted another one.
I definitely think in good.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's pretty fun. I gotta mess around with it a little bit more. I think.
Appeals to people. So.
Yeah, and at different stages in the game, it's only natural.
We'll go and
more on the line,
and see what else is in there.
A penalty in the first minute is not the same as a penalty in the 79th minute.
All right, so base difficulty is pro.
I guess
this is for the AI. I want them to be pretty aggressive.
Most fans, most people within the game don't
Held and tackle cooldown.
It seems to be an annual tradition for a crackdown in February, March.
Held tackle penalty chance.
A figuring out
Put that up a little bit more.
Around State of Origin. And then
fend ratio.
It looks
only middle forwards can fend.
What? Ahead of the referees.
That's a shit rule.
Is that
shit
an issue
thing,
there where it's a bit of cat and mouse?
Hit up ratio.
Respectfully speaking, Seems like most coaches would be
sidestep ratio. I might put that down by 1, like a 1
well,
tick.
I mean, you played when
only backs and middle can sidestep. Got that off, obviously.
Your
evades base level amateur, so that there's a lot of evades. I kind of think that might be cool, but actually, we might put that to pro.
Losing a ruck there is.
But put these up a little bit.
An opportunity to the opposition.
Exactly right. So if there's a defender out of line or third man gets left on the floor,
goose step
or in
cooldown,
between, getting up from
passing, offload cooldown, turn that down a little bit. Referee.
So teams would just lay in, they would just
hold down warning aggression.
They would stay in the tackle, stay in the tackle, stay in the tackle, and it really suffocated the attack, right? And so
base level tackles,
to Buzz's point,
ball strip frequency. Let's put this down because I kind of don't really want too many.
To blow the P out of the whistle.
Too many of them.
Because they wanted some continuity to the game from a spectacle point of view, and that's why we went
miscellaneous
6 agains. And so, some teams got exceptionally
kicking
good at the wrestle and dominating the ruck speed. And as I said, it was a win metric.
We might actually put the evades on veteran.
It's not a win metric anymore. Looking at all the
and then just bump these up.
That we look at, and even talking to the referees, they don't
make that 1%.
It's a win metric anymore.
Put the fend up a bit.
That was one trend where some clubs got ahead of the game by just
go see how this feels.
Focusing on a specific part of the field and staying in the tackle longer. And there's other things like the downtown.
See how that feels.
Because players were getting a head start. So because you were just allowed to give the attacking back 10 metres. Like you, as a midfielder, mate, you're heading upfield, right? So you get a head start. Happy to get a straight square connected line, but you've got a straight square connected line. You've all got a head start. So the poor old fullback's thinking, where do I go?
Where am I going to go?
And so again, they had to change the rule because teams were really suffocating teams in the backfield, and so there was less transition attack and more one-out carries. So there are a couple of rules that coaches or playing groups get ahead of the game because tactically they're looking at ways to take advantage.
Well, on the 6 agains on try line, it frustrates a lot of fans when we see them continually given within the same set of 6. Is it time for the NRL to say if you make 3 consecutive 6 again penalties within your own red zone, the player that gives away the final one will be sent to the bin as a rule of thumb? Because I think sometimes we see, they get a warning, and it's really disruptive, really super disruptive that teams get to lay on. The opposition will make a half break, look like they're going to quick play the ball.
Hopefully it feels good.
We're going to lay on. We'd rather concede a 6 again, defend 6 tackles, put more pressure on the opposition, slow ruck, than concede a quick one, because otherwise, again, we're presenting an opportunity.
Because I think some of the better teams in the competition.
Definitely want the
an art form now to slow that down.
I want to try and get. I wish we could try and get that out of the game, bro. Second tackle goes for a fucking scoot straight away. Makes sense. Obviously, a team can do that in real life, but it's just annoying.
They get to a point where they get frustrated, and that's an error. And then the defensive team knows that
like you're bound to give away a penalty off an offside because of a dummy half scoot down in their end.
Our defensive
Like,
structure
it's almost guaranteed.
I'm not big on massive changes, but I think that's one rule of thumb that would be popular and
like I'm pressing the L2 to get the players back on side. You know, the thing that they were telling us to do, the thing that got added, and it doesn't even fucking work.
And then everybody knows, and it's not subjective. It's not. There's no time pressure in terms of at different stages of the game where the referee's under the pump because they know it's either early,
oh
they know
my
it's
god,
late.
how, bro? How's that
I think that
advantage?
rule of thumb would work wonders.
How is that?
A bit of a Seahawks fan in the NFL. Pete Carroll was coaching there. Like, the contradiction was the Seahawks were the most penalised team in the competition the year they won the Super Bowl, and that shouldn't correlate.
Yeah,
but like if you watch teams play, like even in the NRL, like we're a little bit guilty of it at times. Like the higher penalised teams, because teams are prepared to give away that, back their defensive line, that you'll just get bored and make a mistake, and we'll get the ball back and we'll go again. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. With the bunker, is it time to have one person in charge of it? Is it time for a team of 3, a voting system? Hopefully, is it a try?
Let's try not to give away a penalty here.
A former player, a former coach, a current match official, whoever gets the deciding.
I guess we just
hopefully it's 3.
Just
if
don't
it's
defend
2v1,
in there.
that would help alleviate mistakes. Or we've got one person in there. People will say
Why
it's
is
a difficult
Walsh
job.
backing up to the defense?
Or do we go down the route of AI and
after looking at our draw, Jimmy, I'd love you to go down the route of AI.
But I guess a system could be designed to know when an infringement has occurred. It would also have the history of the correct decisions and incorrect decisions, and that word that you're looking for in terms of consistency. When we go to the bunker, what
Fuck me
happens
dead.
at
My players are all
Shark
over the
Park
place just then. Did
on
you
a
see that?
Friday would be the same
It's
at
kind
what
of chaotic.
happens at a Combank Stadium 2 months ago.
Yeah, if AI's in charge of the draw,
Tried to go for another bump off there, but I couldn't.
But just because it's not waiting for the draw, but this is
look, I don't know enough about AI, but the steps the NRL did take at the back of the year was
Because it's the evasions on
6 to 8
veteran. It's a little bit harder, I guess.
The bunker, right? So they used Chris Butler and one or
Oh,
two
I'll take that.
others,
I'll take
shared
that.
the
Easy
high
meters
ground.
because my fucking winger and centre just decided to back the fuck off for no reason.
Without overloading them.
Like, bro, what are they doing?
Same interpretation.
What is wrong with this game?
Higher level of consistency.
Yeah. And look, I think that worked okay.
That's not a slider issue either because there's no sliders to determine fucking backup runners.
That's where
I defy anyone to watch.
That's just a base level game issue.
That amount of pressure, but maybe you get down to two or weekend.
Or like I say, a voting system of
16 hours a week
of an an official.
I'd be happy to.
Come on, mate.
Oh my fucking god.
The mental
quitting.
strain on these
Gonna go back
guys.
to the thing.
You put
Logos. Fuck, that's so annoying.
That person is going. I'm getting $500,000 a year. The current referee, the top referee, is already on $350.
But the strain on these people,
Like the Hunter Mariners.
You can't do it.
But you're on about player welfare, referee welfare. No one gets anything done. Buzz, if you're in charge of the NRL, everyone's off.
But it's a better idea than you and your AI.
Mate, I'm telling you, it will happen. It will happen, where all the data is given to the AI machine. It is programmed what a
need to have a
instruction
look
looks like,
at the
what a
Hunter
note try, what
Mariners.
a put down looks like, and it will be able to make a more accurate decision than a human being ever will be able to. I'm telling you now,
very hard to believe.
it will be an algorithm that goes in. All previous information is fed to this computer that will be able to, and It's not emotional. It doesn't. It's not affected by time pressure. It will make a quicker decision as well.
And you're not looking for yes, no. You might get, well, that's 75% yes
That's
or 25% no.
Exactly. It will
That's
calculate
so
What
weird.
it would have done to Harry Grant.
Well, it
AI.
depends what it was instructed to do. If it was instructed, well, and look, there would be teething problems.
Okay, they look like just a Super League team.
Situations like that, and depending on, I guess, what the commission would want to see as a
Suppose
penalty.
they are only a Super
that
League
would
team.
instruct the AI to say that is a penalty. Like
Super League, NRL,
like
obviously.
and it would be able to
Look,
learn. It would machine learn. It would be able to learn. It could have every single example that has ever existed in the NRL era, all the right, all the wrong decisions, and it wouldn't be perfect, but it would make way better decisions.
It's another tool for someone to use.
That's another podcast altogether. A futuristic look at rugby league.
Well,
and the involvement of AI. Hold on.
Fuck,
And will
they were
players
here
who
and
think
gone
they were in
quickly,
the
man.
bank,
What the
right,
fuck?
Will they go into AI and we'll have Andrew Voss's voice on AI and they'll call a game on AI?
Maybe.
You know, runs Cleary 15 metres down the back inside. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the horse is bolted in terms of technology and sport. The horse is bolted, and it's not.
Okay, so we'll do a wide outline around everything first.
And we're in a consistent pursuit of perfection. And I think whether we like it, I said years ago there will be robot referees. I don't know if we'll ever get to that stage, but I would be gobsmacked that if in the next decade we don't see a level of artificial intelligence and machine learning adjudicate our sport when it goes to the bunker.
Their first off crack at the draw was pretty ordinary. Not taking the Raiders to Brisbane. Magic round. West Tigers. That's so unfair on them getting another week one off.
Are you buying that AI did that draw?
No, I'm not.
Yes, I am.
I'm not buying that AI did that.
What are you?
I think there was elements of it.
They pumped into AI.
I think there was elements of it.
No, I don't believe it was fully, completely AI. There's no way, because AI needs a prompt.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like obviously, what is it? Someone's playing here next year. Soccer.
Yeah.
Football. Sorry.
Final question, guys. We'll just go across the desk to ways we can improve the current situation as it stands. Buzz, over to you.
How can we improve it? Oh, we just need, you pick me up on it, consistency out of the bunker. The people in the middle of the football field are always going to make mistakes, particularly as the game's faster. More fatigue on these guys. And, they've got to, rely on, a set of eyes with, 4K view of stop frames. And so, look, I think it's, better bunker.
With machine learning.
Yeah, whatever.
Matt?
Taking the focus off the referee, the broadcasters, the game, the internet, or maybe not the internet, you can't control that, but like just de-emphasising where they sit in the landscape.
Seeps?
Yeah, efficiency around the bunker. I think that's a big one that can improve the game because, as I said, there's a lot of things right with the game at the moment, but just the interference from the bunker and then also the length it takes at different times for a decision.
Yeah,
all right,
it takes
brilliant.
forever.
That's the end of episode 8, the state of match officiating. We could have gone on a lot longer there, but stay tuned for episode 9.
Okay. Quickly.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross back at again with another video. So we're going to check out 10 WWE.
I don't know why
ruined their body.
Kicking It with Ross's videos are the ones that always automatically play when I'm listening to rugby league stuff. Kind of annoys me.
Hello and welcome everybody.
Can we get much higher? I'll be back. I'm going to go wet my face because it is hot, gang.
Welcome to a special edition of the Code NRL show. I say it's special because, Reedy, it's question time from the fans. Reedy, you decided to open up your mailbag. Yeah, via social media.
Reach out to the punters, Dave.
Reach out to the fans and the punters.
Got to give them a voice, the punters.
Because it is in November, but still there is so much happening in rugby league. And fans want to know what's going on, namely with their players, their rosters. And so let's kick it off. And there were heaps of questions. And if you still want...
There's still time.
There's still plenty of time.
We're not live, are we?
No, but in the future, there's still a couple of shows left before Christmas.
If people put stuff out there, we can ask it next week.
Just keep on sending us questions, right? Yeah. And particularly what night Reedy enjoys nude night at home is always interesting.
Summer nude night's back.
The big one doing the rounds is, at the moment, certainly from a Manly Seagulls point of view, is Ruben Garrick. Now, Benny_Ryan32 asks, what are the chances of Garrick staying at Manly?
I don't think they've got their nose in front, Dave. I think at the moment the Roosters have probably got their nose in front. I believe they've got an offer. I believe it's around $650 a season with a car thrown in as well for Ruben Garrick, 2-year deal. And the advantage the Roosters have got, or a perceived advantage that the Roosters have got, is I'm told Ruben wants to get into real estate after his career's over. And the Roosters are obviously a really connected club. Yeah. So they can help him out potentially on that front.
I'm back. That's better.
Nick Politis is
cooler
as anyone. So I believe the Roosters have probably got their nose in front of the moment. Manly are going to come back with a revised offer. They offered him 2 years, $1.1 million. So they're going to come back with a revised offer.
But just clarify that. You've got to be careful because clubs can't offer players jobs.
No, but guys can do, obviously the Roosters can line up connections through the club, and he can go and maybe dip his toe in the water.
Spend half a day
at a real estate. Blokes have done that in the past. I can't remember who. I think Luke Keary did that towards at some point in his career. So, you can do that. That's not an issue on the cap. An issue with the NRL. In fact, I think the NRL encourage that sort of stuff where guys go and do something outside footy training. So that's an advantage I believe the Roosters have got because they're so connected around town, aren't they? Not that Manly aren't, but there's just more opportunities, I think, at the Roosters on that front. And the other issue is he's great mates with Daly Cherry-Evans. Daly's now, obviously, we saw Daly unveiled as a Rooster the other day. They're great mates. Daly's done a 1-year deal with potentially a 1-year option at the end of that. But even if Daly doesn't play beyond 26, he'll be there in some capacity at the Roosters, so Ruben will have that as well.
And so the Dragons are also having talks with Ruben Garrick as well. But
so that's it. The Roosters are just going to keep Bailey Jones.
I like Ruben Garrick as a player. I think he's very, very safe and solid footballer. But I am surprised about the figure.
I reckon that about.
I really hope the Roosters don't win the premiership next year. That would piss me off.
That's about peak Ruben Garrick, I reckon. That's a pretty good deal for him.
And where does he get into this Roosters backline?
Well, you've got to think, David, it is 12 months away. No Nwangani Tuazi. I can't imagine Daniel Tupou will go again in 2027. So they do have positions there.
I could see.
They've got a lot of young kids.
I could see
good ones coming through.
He's got a good goal kicker as well, Ruben Garrick. So he, I can see that
he hasn't had injuries or nothing.
Going back to rugby,
and
he'd be still fit.
Goal kicker.
There are vacancies there for him, so he'd slot in pretty easily, I reckon, into that back line.
Hey, Reedy, I love a Black Friday sale. Have you bought that pizza oven you've been trying to buy?
Mate, you recommended that to me, and I haven't. I looked at them the other day again, Dave.
Yeah,
they're very impressive.
Mate, I tell you
Crazy ad.
Mate, this Black Friday sale. Code subscription. All the interviews, all the video, all the scoops, breaking news, anything you want as far as rugby league is concerned, and every other cricket season. Hello, right? It was $49 last week.
Yeah,
Black Friday. Guess.
$25.
$19.
What? That is ridiculous.
$19 for 12 months.
They're giving it away.
They're giving it away. $19 for 12 months code subscription, but you have to click the link below because it's only available until December 1.
Wow, clock's ticking.
Andrew Ibrahim, 34. Any news on Keon and Para's targets?
I'm told the Para, look, I mean, you've heard this as well, Dave. We called Para
They're after
a week ago. The Para are well and truly in front for Keon.
Yeah.
Now, I think Keon's on holidays at the moment because he just went away, obviously on the tour, the Ashes tour. I'm not sure he's back yet. I'd imagine the decision's not that far away, but Souths have got a fight in their hands.
Yeah. I get this sense from South, talking to South, is they absolutely would love to keep Keon.
Yeah.
They firmly believe Keon's preference would be to stay. But But there's an element of
sometimes
drawing a line in the
fresh
sand
starters
too
the
with
best.
South Sydney. We're not going to go crazy money for Keon and length of terms, like because we're hearing in and around that $1 million mark.
Yeah, at
Keon.
least I think.
Yeah,
at least.
Now you've got to be careful when
Paris
investing long term.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it last week that South. He's more important to South than Parramatta. But at the same time, I still think that the Bunnies need to be careful on how long and how much they invest into Keon.
Again, the Dragons, I believe, having a look at Keon.
They're having a dip, yeah. I don't.
Perth, and there's a sneaky tip the Roosters might be hovering.
Yeah,
of course the Roosters are, bro.
Obviously, South and the Roosters aren't the best of friends, so that'd be interesting. But I think I believe some Para players have been in contact with Keon and they're trying to woo him.
Yep.
Convince him to join the Eels. They look like they're a club on the rise, a club on the up.
Yeah, Parramatta do look like
I'm sure he can see that. And, money speaks, what do they say? Money speaks 1,000 languages.
Is that what they say? Yep, all languages is what you're looking for.
Okay, 1,000 all.
But just as far as Andrew Ibrahim, 34, he also asked other Parramatta targets. The only other name that's popped up for me is Ruben Garrick. And we know that they've got a...
weren't they trying to go after Murray Taulagi, though?
Obviously leaving the club, but... They will also rely on their next gen coming through.
Yeah, good kids.
In the back line to plug some holes. But that's probably...
I think short term's the interesting part for me, Dave, because obviously Ryan Madison's returned to training. And at the moment, I think the idea of Ryan Madison leaving has been put on hold for a bit until they hit the Christmas period. Then the new year, look at that
never
again,
forget all the memories.
Simba, Now, if he goes, that frees up some cash in the short term for next season. Keon's for 27.
Yeah.
They can free up some cash for 26. They might go and have a look around then and shake a few trees and see what falls out.
Yeah.
So
I wanna go to the moon. Don't leave so soon. Don't leave so soon.
Yeah, sure. Now, Dragons fans, one for you. It is from Mohammed Zadzi, 91. Do you think Dragons make the 8 next year? I think they'll go close. And I say that on the basis of if you actually analyse their season of just gone by, 2025.
Can we get much higher?
It's around the fact
that... Simba, my cup. It's because I'm away from it. It's because I'm sitting away from the mic. Never forget all the memories.
Our stats guys suggested they lost about 8 games by 6 points or less. But like they were in throughout this season. I think the appointment of Daniel Atkinson's a good one. I think that makes them a stronger team, and I think they are good enough. I love Dylan Egan. I love Hamish Stewart, and I love the next crop coming through for Saints. I think Hamish Stewart will play for Australia. That's how good he is. They'll be one of those teams in and around pushing to make the 8. They won't be down the bottom. I've seen the bookies' odds; they will not be running.
If they finish top 10, they've had a good season.
Yeah.
Me, top 12. Because I look at their spine. That spine's not good enough, Dave.
Yeah.
Gutho's a year older, right? And he was really good for them last year.
He's smashing them in pre-season.
Well, that's fine, but mate, has he got any quicker? Because it's a quick man's game now.
Yep.
And I don't think he's going to add pace. No offence to Gutho, because he had an amazing season for them. Not having a shot at him.
Simba, my cup.
It's all about speed now.
Never forget all the memories.
Not as quick as he once was.
Yeah. Damien Cook goes all right.
Jacob
Little had a great year.
I wanna go to the moon.
Obviously, Kyle and Daniel Atkinson. The jury's out, Daniel Atkinson. I mean, look, he has done a lot of opportunities, right? Because he was at Cronulla, didn't get a lot of chances there. But he's not elite.
No, he's not elite.
There's not an elite player in that spine for me. And you cannot...
Yeah, but you can build elite players.
Part of the reason they lost a lot of close games, they didn't have an elite player in their spine to get them over the line. That's my concern for them. So they're not going to make the 8.
Yeah,
if they make the 8...
You can build elite players.
What are we going to do?
If they make the 8...
I just don't know if Flano can do that.
Flanagan's career, and he won a premiership in 2016.
Calm down. Calm down.
I'm just saying it.
Simba, my cup.
Oh my God, they're not.
Never forget all the memories. All right, we need to do the black now.
If they make the 8 and go deep in the
Broncos apparently trying to sign a
Gordo Anno. This
so
is a good
brother.
question.
So they're already they're in the
concentrate more on the
they're both in the Broncos academy, so we can't really sign them. They're in the academy, so they're technically already in the Broncos bubble. They've been in the academy for a few years.
A satellite office with the
they're already basically signed.
They're all under one roof. They've got a partnership with the University of Western. Is it the University of Western Sydney?
Like they're already in it.
A $1 million partnership with them. They're investing more money in the West than they ever have. Well, it's Shane Richardson. He's not silly, right? He's gone hard.
That was one of the things I brought up when this news was first getting through. That I don't think he will leave and jeopardise his brothers' playing careers.
Office out there, they're working hand in glove with the NRL and New South Wales Rugby League in the West. And they've got the partnership with Western Sydney Uni. So
that's positive because
they're doing lots out there, Dave.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to change the perception because as far as Gordo Anno is concerned, and I get the same emails and questions from Tigers fans. What are we doing in neglecting the Western Sydney? For everything Reedy's just said, get the message out there, West Tigers.
Well, they had a launch yesterday or the day before out there.
Oh. Where was the invite, Reed, man?
Well, I think we got invited.
I don't think we invited. I got brushed.
Where's Gordo live? Does he say there where he lives?
No, he doesn't say where he lives, but he asks good questions.
Probably
Keep them coming,
lives in the
Gordo.
eastern suburbs,
Here's
Gordo.
another one. Maui Zrika. Maui.Zrika.
Love it, Maui.
If Sean O'Sullivan, now for listeners and viewers out there, Sean O'Sullivan has moved from the Dolphins to the Bulldogs. If Sean O'Sullivan kills it in pre-season, is there a chance he starts at halfback over Lachlan Galvin?
There's no chance.
No, he doesn't. Very good backup. Very good.
There's no chance, bro.
And we'll bring. What I know about Sean O'Sullivan,
he's a good player, but
absolute intellect of the game.
They just won't do that.
If ever seen a future coach,
he'll be a coach. Yeah.
Future coach. He's one in making. Sean O'Sullivan, but no, Lachlan Galvin will start in the half.
I think the more likely scenario, Dave, is that Mitch Woods trains the house down the pre-season and potentially pushes his way into that mix.
Yeah,
like Sean's been signed as a backup and a mentor for those young halves. And mate, you won't get a better mentor than Sean O'Sullivan. As you said, he's highly intelligent, loves the game. He's a footy nerd.
Yep.
He's going to be a coach. Well, look, if he wants to go down that path, he will definitely be a coach one day.
Yeah.
And he's been brought to that club to sort of wrap his arms around those young guys, mentor them, make sure they develop and head in the right direction. But Mitch Woods is the one for me. I noticed he was back at training the other day, and I think I read it right. Did he win the yo-yo? Is it the yo-yo test?
Yeah.
I think he might have won it all.
They have a weekly Trainer of the Week award.
Yeah.
And he may have picked up that. I'm not. That might be what you're referring to.
Yeah. Okay, that might be. So, and he's like the next great one, right? That's what everyone's saying about him. And he's only young, is he not? Is he still 18?
Woodsy?
Woods.
18, 19. I'll have to double check it.
So he's still young. It might be too early to start the season, but I'll tell you what, if he has a good pre-season, Woods 7, Galvin 6, Burton
Centre, Crichton fullback.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's a good spot.
I like that.
See, we saw the way
Crichton
the
fullback,
played last year.
I think Crichton. I think Birdo could be a good centre, good fullback.
Yeah.
And he was virtually playing as the fullback. He wasn't.
We're playing deep anyways. You know what I mean? In the attack.
The wheels are in motion.
If he ever needs to bring out the bomb, he'll be standing pretty deep. He's going to be back there anyways.
He's just an unbelievable
for field goals as well.
Oh.
They need somebody to kick a field goal.
All the big dogs, as far as Canterbury's bigger name players, started training this week.
Okay.
And so they're underway. The dogs. Crichton fullback would be a winner for me.
You see it happening, Dave?
I'm not ruling it out. I wouldn't rule it out.
I don't see it happening.
You've got your ear to the ground at Belmont.
Not next year.
No, I just think it's a huge pre-season. Okay. And any Dogs player that may listen to this, they'd know it. They would know that I reckon it's an open book as far as go get your jumpers, boys.
Yeah. I say you keep Connor Tracy there.
3 months.
The bloke puts his body on the line for every tackle.
Just keep coming in here.
What do you got now?
This is from the Stormcast podcast. Podcast, brother. Any news on Melbourne's pursuit on Tino Fa'asuamaleaui for 2027? Have the parties met yet?
Tino's on holidays, I believe, after the Ashes tour. So I don't really.
Stormcast. I know the Titans have met Tino.
Yeah.
So they're starting to put the hard word on him.
They don't really need to meet Tino.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bears would be after everybody.
Like they know him quite well. They met him.
Josh Hannah needs to sit down and have a conversation about this is the way forward.
The Storm don't.
Oh, sorry, Storm. Yeah.
I mean, they know Tino pretty well. They know what they're getting. I don't think Tino has to, and Tino knows what he's getting if he goes to Melbourne. I don't think they necessarily need to sit down and have him tour Melbourne. Because he knows the joint. He played there.
I don't think those two will leave. Jesse will want to win a premiership, like be on the field.
Melbourne's got this.
So he'd be training pretty hard. I reckon he's gonna. Jesse's gonna have a really good season next season if he gets a shot.
And the Katoa situation.
Shibasaki probably won't leave.
Yeah.
I don't think Shiba will leave. I think he'll retire with the Broncos. He's getting, I think he's like 30 this year or next year. I think he's like, no, maybe 29 next year. So he's been around for a bit. I think, I don't think Shiba will leave.
Necessarily progress that far.
Yeah.
The team just won a premiership.
Yeah.
Looking to go back to back. Those boys will want to go back to back.
Next year?
Next year. To let you know what he's doing.
Yeah, wow.
And, you know, if they do, they will want to try and go, you know, 3 in a row.
And boom, crash opera.
Tino goes, I'm going to Melbourne.
Tino goes, I'm out. So thanks, fellas. It won't get to that.
It's a big imagination to see the Titans.
I think
in the final
I
stage.
will say, I will say the Titans. The Titans, the big one was, and you can say what you like, but the re-signing of Jaden Campbell was critical, just showing Tino. Hey.
Do you think Arthurs gets spot not over Karapani or Mariner?
Jumping out too.
Depends, man.
To land Jaden
it depends.
The big issue, Dave, is
I don't know what was wrong with Arthurs to begin with. Like, I don't know what the reason was why he got dropped. You know, that's Madge's job. He's a defensive-minded coach, so maybe it was something defensive that Mariner and Karapani were doing better. But you know, that's a wing combination that just won a premiership. So why would you change that wing combination? If you go watch the whole finals campaign, bro, you'll see how big those players were in their backyard, like bringbacks. You know, their kick chase. Kick returns is what I'm trying to find. Like they were having massive kick returns.
What are the Tigers doing with Jerome Buller, and what will happen if?
So why would you change that?
Well, I have spoken to him. I noticed Richo came out this week. He spoke and said we want to do a long-term deal with Jerome, which I think we spoke about last week, didn't we?
But you know, Michael Maguire is a coach of opportunity. If you earn your opportunity, you get your opportunity.
Outlay that money. Rather than saying we'll give you 900.
It's not one of those coaches that just picks and sticks.
Say, why don't we extend the deal
if he has to drop somebody, he'll fucking do it, and we saw it this year.
You know, because
and it did us the world of good because we just won a premiership.
Go see what you can do, and we'll go see what's out there as well.
I think a lot of rival clubs would be balking at the 900.
You know, we had a slump, and
Buller is to leave the West Tigers.
I don't know. Karapani came in, and we stopped losing after Karapani came into the team. So
that he's currently on at the
you know, that correlates for something.
Any team pays 900 coming from a team that have been perennial battlers.
He's a very good player.
He's a very good player. I think statistically, and if you want to really go drill down on it, rival clubs are doing it themselves. Seeing where Jerome sits statistically on fullbacks, while individually he does unbelievable things, and I'm a huge fan. Statistically, he's not in the top as far as fullbacks are concerned. So I think the 900 is the ball for rival clubs. But if he was to drop his price, I reckon a few clubs would jump into him.
Who'd be the logical ones? Dogs.
Well, the two clubs that have got their fullbacks off contract. Canterbury, Connor Tracy, and the Dogs, Sharks and Will Kennedy.
Yeah. And the other interesting one's probably the Cowboys.
Sure. We spoke about
Jackson Purdue there, right?
But we spoke about the
fuck, man, my hair dried so quickly, bro. It's still hot.
Drink water.
Let's not forget Perth, Dave, too.
Yeah, Perth.
So
100%.
Yeah, I think he might end up staying on an extended deal, Jerome. My gut feeling.
Yeah, well, I hope for Tigers' sake he does. Matty Wilson, 2478.
Matty.
Why are the Dragons struggling so much to land any big fish? It's an interesting question because
maybe it's
I'd
Flanagan.
like to examine on every single player they've
Maybe
gone
it's
after
Coach
would be
Flanagan,
considered a
not
big fish.
Kyle
But secondly,
Flanagan.
they did some pretty handy work last year. Gutho, Cook, Ellis at the time.
Yeah.
But now, who have they gone for? They'd love Tino. They would absolutely love Tino.
Not happening. Keon.
I don't know how hard they've gone there. Garrick, I'm surprised.
Put it this way.
Shark hasn't come back.
I reckon Keon is the type of player that needs to go into a team with elite players around him. I don't think Tino makes any changes to any other team unless it's filled with elite players. There, I said it.
Yeah.
Dragons or Melbourne, you're probably going to go to Melbourne. Dragons or Broncos, you're probably going to go to Broncos. They're fishing in a different pond to everyone else.
Yeah, as far as landing the big.
Because the big guys have got options and they'd rather go to other clubs. I mean, that's just the way they are at the moment.
You know what? Matty Wilson, I don't know how desperately they need him. When you actually, I reckon in about 3 years' time,
they need a playmaker.
We're going to be looking at Jacob Halangahu, Hamish Stewart, Dylan Egan, Nick Sagranis.
Who's getting them around the park, Dave?
I understand all that, but they're going to be guns.
Yeah, but who's getting them around the park, Dave? I'll say it again.
Well, they're going to have to
who's
find...
steering them around the park?
They have to find a half.
I mean, they got a young half, Cade Reed, who was a schoolboy star a few years ago. I think he's in the top 30 now.
Yeah.
Maybe he develops into that guy, but they've made it pretty clear. I mean, Tim Watford, the CEO, has publicly said, we need to sign a playmaker. They haven't landed one.
Yeah. Well, they haven't,
Were they in the peasant mix?
No, they weren't. They
should have.
They're not jumping out of trees as far as halves.
No.
They may have had a nibble at Jaden Campbell, but... Yeah.
All right,
we shall see. We shall see. Yeah. As I said, keep all your questions coming in. We've got plenty of shows left in us, Reedy.
Oh, thank God.
We're done?
Yeah, well...
Thank God
we
AC
have to keep
exists.
the fans on the hook.
Oh, okay. Don't
I've only got a ceiling fan.
Yeah,
It's fucking
Catch you
hot.
next week on the Code NRL show.
So fucking hot. Never forget all the memories. Sitting by my cup. I wanna go to the moon. Darling, so soon. How can I get through? It's 8 minutes.
Kevin Walters just dropped the bombshell that has Ivan Cleary scrambling for answers. One statement, 10 words,
AI,
and the entire NRL landscape just shifted beneath our feet. This isn't just trash talk, folks. This is a declaration of war that could rewrite the rulebook on rugby league coaching forever. What Walters said behind closed doors has now leaked, and trust me, you're not ready for this. Before we dive into the chaos that's about to unfold, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon for Aussie Sports Central, because this story is developing faster than a Nathan Cleary line break, and you don't want to miss a single update. Now, let's get into what just happened. It was supposed to be a routine press conference. Kevin Walters sitting there, fielding the usual questions about the Broncos' preparations.
I don't care, bro. You're using AI. Use your real voice. Give me a second. I'm just looking for something to put on. Can't put any music on because
NRL Daily, the Journo Show, Adam Peacock. No Michael Chammas this week, but we've got Danny Weidler from 9 News.
And we're talking about Kyle Flanagan, Dragons, Lachlan Ilias, something different.
Something different. We've got Tommy Turbo on the rundown, and we've got a very special guest to fill the seat of Chamwa. None other than Luke Keary, a man who knows infinitely more, you would say, Danny Weidler, than the man who usually sits in that chair in this podcast.
I can't begin to tell you how much more he knows.
We miss Chammy. Not really.
Do we?
He's on the Love Boat, isn't he? He's on the cruise. Luke, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Thanks for having me in. I'll do my best. Do my best.
You don't have to do too much then.
We caught up with Luke actually on the Kangaroo Tour.
Yeah.
In London. It was Luke was actually I did a story, and so did Chammy when he was over there, sort of reflecting on the great career he had and his retirement and what may happen in the future. And it was fun to catch up, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3-time premiership winner.
We had dinner with Adam
back to back
DeRusi,
with the Roosters, and obviously 2014 with the Rabbitohs.
Guy and probably
very underrated player, Luke Keary.
I was going to say, he's joined the Dogs.
I just read their journos. I was thinking, geez, I'm not a player anymore.
Didn't they tell you that before you got in?
No one wants to be on this podcast.
Yeah. Now, Danny was going to save it for his Sunday column, but we're going to jump in here and say that you're going to do a bit of work with Triple M next season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I've done a little bit in the past, and really looking forward to it, calling some games and working with the boys this year, getting stuck into the season.
How do you, now that you've stopped playing, we think, there might be a mid-season call-up somewhere. Halves are in short supply, mate. But how, towards the latter end of your career, how did you start to view the media as opposed to maybe the front end of your career when everyone seems a bit wary?
Yeah, I felt like it's evolved over the time. When I first got in, there was that stigma around the media about keep them out. Madge back in the day used to really drive that down our throat about.
Tell us about that.
Keep the noise out. Madge has changed so much too. Being in Origin with him last year. He's changed so much. But yeah.
What was it like back then, though?
We had all the older boys like your Mick Crockers, John Suttons, Ben Teo, Danny.
My mate.
You kind of come into that culture and it was like, don't give them a thing. They're the enemy. And then you grow to realise and you mature as a player and even get in the Roosters environment where you kind of realise, hey, they're actually here to help you and you can, if you create good relationships with them, they can protect you in different things. And you can do it in a ethical way where you're not so close that it's kind of compromises yourself as a player and a team member, but you're also able to say hello, have general chit chat with them. Like we see Danny down at Bondi all the time, Teddy, Victor, and myself, and just be able to say hello and treat them as normal humans. Like they get a bad rap sometimes. They don't.
Because they fucking spew dribble all the time.
Or a cat.
You don't know who they're working for. Could be working with
I got the cat thing
fucking.
Where? Oh, where was
what do you call it?
You across this?
No,
he's called a cat walker because someone
manager
worried in once.
Years ago.
We saw
write a shitty story to
in Bondi at
get a player to help get released.
And they said I was in Crocs and
you
socks,
never know with the journos, bro.
Which in part could be right, but I have stated several times, Luke, on this podcast, I don't own a cat. I've got nothing against cats, but I'm now known as a cat walker because I've got a fluffy dog, okay? Yeah. So, cavoodle.
Yeah, actually, I've seen the dog a few
times. It's been on TV when Angus cut my hair one time.
Oh, yes, he hangs around down there.
He does. He's got a handshake with Stephen Crichton and everything. He's Danny Gould as well, so he's over at Belmore a fair bit too.
But I was somewhere and someone said, "Oh, where's your cat?" Or I was getting, I think it was petrol. I was getting petrol. No cat today. And it's just all over England. I was getting that as well. Like
really?
So
worldwide, baby. Hey, just back to the media relationship thing, because I look at the Roosters and I look at Trent Robinson, a guy who kind of likes to be in control.
Yeah.
And he looks like a bit of a stress head in front of the cameras. Now, you obviously know a totally different Trent Robinson. How is he in terms of giving yourself only so much to the media?
Yeah, he's really good. Robbo's is awesome. And Danny would say his press conference he does 2 days before a game, he gives a lot to the media.
Yeah, he gives a lot.
He has an opinion. If they ask him on stuff, he has an opinion on the way the game's kind of played and things like that. And he also encouraged us to be ourselves.
And he's a sook.
There was a line there, and sometimes you'd have to say, hey, maybe a little bit too much or things like that. But he always has encouraged you to be yourself. He's not against going on shows or radio, things like that. He was really good.
Was he across it all?
He's got Alex there, who's really good. She's across everything. I think Robbo was. I think he knew, but he knew that you knew there was a line there and not to kind of cross. And you know that as a player, maybe it's like a code of silence of there's kind of enough you can give without going over the top.
Robbo is good at like. So there are some coaches who you're going to go to a press conference and you're going to get a response. You're going to be like, it's rare, Adam, and you know this, Luke. It's rare that someone like me or whoever else attends these things, it's rare we're talking just about, the X's and O's of football, because the rugby league's a soap opera, and we're talking about everything and anything
you just make it a
other
soap
than
opera.
the game quite often. Like, and you know that when I turn up, that I'd rarely be asking you for tactical analysis of a game. I'd be asking about the issues of the day. And towards the end there, Luke was up more than Robbo. Luke was up every second time I'd be down at Roosters. It'd be, Luke Keary and Daniel Tupou. And because they were the senior guys, so you'd get a lot of Luke Keary, and you'd know with Luke you could go anywhere with questions because you're very seasoned by that stage. Yeah. And I'm not pissing in his pocket, but you're an intelligent guy, so you can handle, you know how to handle the media. Yeah. But I could imagine as a young bloke, it would have been a lot different when you're stuck in front of 5 journos and cameras on a weekly basis, and that's a hard thing for footballers to get used to. Was there a turning point for you where you sort of felt more comfortable and more in your?
I think the move, like for me, from South to Roosters, I guess as a young guy, you've got, like I explained before, you got that siege mentality. Everyone's against you, and then when I moved, I kind of relaxed. Alex was really good for me. She's our media manager at the Roosters. Just about being yourself and like kind of. If you have an opinion on something,
Simba, my cup.
You can.
Never forget a memory.
You know those boundaries and not to cross them. But I reckon as
I
might have been 26 when I got to the Roosters, and then from there it felt a bit more comfortable. And even doing stuff.
Fuck, let me grab this.
Going on a 360 show or Matty John show, kind of everything you do, you get a little bit more comfortable with it.
Yeah, because when you rock up, I'm guessing, to a press conference, if you get to know the people like Danny, who, he's got a minute 30 only on the news.
So he's 2 minutes out of me, don't watch Nine News much, but
Yeah.
Here we go.
Peter Overton pointed out
need
to
to
you
do the headband up the top and then the hunter.
Months ago, I said something about the 6 p.m. news because I
basically said it was irrelevant.
Grand final day. He left out a bit of typical tabloid journalist. He left out
you said that you said that 6 p.m. news is no longer relevant in today's society.
Not as relevant as it once was, especially on grand final day, because I reckon grand final should kick off at 5 p.m. It's just bump back to 6 o'clock.
Anyway,
I get in the lift this week at Channel 9 where I do some work for Stan.
Where you're on the payroll.
The great Peter Overton's there, and he goes, "Hi, Peter Overton from the 6 p.m. news, which still is relevant." Just fried me. Absolutely killed me.
That's about as kind as he could be, because I heard he was going to do a lot worse.
Yeah, him and Bracey were going to do a drive-by on my house or something.
Well, there are wanted posters of Adam Peacock up in the newsroom, because he's probably our least popular member of our
Only thing
staff
saving me is the AC.
I'll break bread there eventually. But when you rock it, you see the familiar faces. I reckon as a player, you know something's wrong when you start seeing journos that you don't know, and they're asking questions about really serious things. That's when it gets a bit tricky.
I feel like you build that relationship with them over years. They will take care of you in certain ways. They're not going to put you in really awkward spots. I feel like the journos kind of know the line with different players. Like I know not to cross that line with Luke or someone, or talk about X, Y, Z with someone, but when you start seeing the ones you haven't seen for a while.
When Damon Ryan's turning up at press conferences instead
not
of
great.
me, no, there's a drama somewhere. But with Luke, you can. I did feel like you could ask you pretty much anything, and there were towards the end of your career, but probably in the younger days.
Right. Do I have to go wet my face again?
It wasn't your place
Probably.
to have an opinion. The bad
Once
thing
I've done this, I'm going to go
from a media perspective
wet my face.
is
I'll probably
not
go wet
a crack at you or anyone.
T-shirt or something.
You weren't the story that we were
just
talking
wrap it
about.
around my
we
neck.
They never put that person up.
Like Jared, he was invisible. Jared Warrior-Hargreaves for the last couple of years of his career, and he was as good a media performer as you could find. He handled the media really well, but we didn't see him. So we'd often have to, just an example, we'd have to ask you about him, and that's where I felt like it's a little bit unfair on players, where we're asking to get your viewpoint on someone else. Or
I reckon like now I'm out of it. I reckon we can do it better as a game, like the access thing. I know like the NFL, they let him in the sheds after the game and you journos kind of have access to
NBA,
everyone.
they let them in the sheds before the game, but they play 82 games a year, and they got different time zones, like East Coast, West Coast.
Before the game, could you have handled it? Do you reckon, like a bunch of media 2 hours?
Yeah, we've got heat wave at the moment.
Not in our games, probably more.
It was raining a little bit earlier. Rained for about maybe
Fox or Nine say
a minute and a half.
Go to Alex.
It rained for like
we want
nothing.
Luke before the game.
Now it's super
How's that
hot.
process? Can you go no?
You can, yeah.
This is a game that I want to dial in on.
Yeah, you can. Still remember 18 GF when the Cooper thing. I don't think Alex would give anyone the pre-game, and I ended up just going, yeah, I'll do it. Like I was in such a relaxed mood. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. It's fine.
Oh, when his shoulder was
just like a pre-game 2-minute chat. I think it was with Joey or Freddie just as you get off the bus.
Yeah.
Because there is times, but you can knock stuff back as a player. You can be put up and answer no questions technically.
Yeah, but it's kind of useless to do
But
that.
sounds like
I
it's
want to take you back to that. Like the Roosters are renowned for being quite a secretive club and being able to keep a secret, and that was never better illustrated than the Cooper Cronk stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all like, I'm not ashamed to say we were guessing.
Did you send the chopper up?
I think
someone sent the chopper up.
I think we would have probably put a chopper up. To see
you know, it's serious when the chopper goes up.
Yeah,
that's the definition of okay. We really don't know what's going
when they
on.
were camped outside the training.
Yeah, I think I spent some time outside.
Then he had a tent there.
Yeah, but how
we weren't sure either.
Did you know? Did you?
So that was the thing, right? Robbo, we talked about as a team to go, let's not tell anyone, but we had nothing to tell anyone anyway because.
So who knew?
Well, no one, because Cooper didn't know until before the game. Like, I guess up maybe 24 hours before, he came in and said, okay, I think there's a chance. And we were like, oh, okay. Like, mentally, I was preparing. Like, Cooper's not playing, really. And then, okay, he's a chance, but still prepare as if he's probably not going to be there. If he's there, it's a bonus. And I remember Keith said, oh, mate, I honestly won't know until I get a needle.
If it's
during the warm-up, and then I have to get through the warm-up. So I just blocked it out completely, but I didn't know.
Didn't he go to a local?
No one could tell anyone. They found a guy.
Chopper, he went to a local park.
Yeah, they trained off-site.
Yeah,
which we didn't even know about either. We didn't know the physio training.
We were looking for it all. We were trying to find it all.
Tackling the physio. That I think it's pretty good.
And then that's one of the most remarkable. Like, it was a proper secret. It was a really well kept secret. And
they said, don't tell. They were like, I think Robert said, don't tell your mum and dad.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But we kind of had nothing to tell them with.
There we go.
But that's still that was a real instance where the media was guessing because I remember interviewing Cooper that week because they put him up for media and he talked, and I don't remember now what I came away thinking, but we weren't certain either way.
Yeah.
And again, not pissing Luke's pocket. You got Clive Churchill
on
that
this,
day,
man.
so
yeah.
So
well, the week before,
you did
people
okay.
forget Latrell got suspended for the prelim against South. And I remember there was a lot of who were they going to play there?
Jerseys.
Ryan Madison.
Making logos.
It was a similar thing. It was on a lesser scale, but Momorovsky came in. We didn't really want South to know that because he was a young player.
I just want to throw logos up on the Fed Hub.
I feel like as a team, I reckon the biggest thing as a player, we talk about the relationship between journos, is you don't want to be perceived by your teammates and other players
as the one that's
like
giving them info.
A bunny.
Yeah.
Well, not the info, but just you're always out there. You've always got an opinion on stuff. You haven't earned that opinion. Like, really conscious as players.
Which makes it hard to go forward, though. That makes it hard for them.
You've got to put yourself, like, you'll see the Brandons and things like that who've really put himself out there. But that's rare in our game. Obviously, in Australia, too, we're very tall poppy syndrome.
It sucks in a lot of ways.
You don't want to put your neck too far out there.
But, I mean, the players as a group want the money from a big media deal, and that's where you benefit from that. And, I mean, ultimately, that's where the money comes from. So
yeah, I think we can do it better.
Yeah, I think
as players, like, understand.
But it also takes time to do that, doesn't it? It takes time to feel comfortable in your own skin. Like, this is not your natural environment. I mean, it's not necessarily ours either to naturally want to do this, but it's not your environment that when you were growing up playing footy, you didn't think of getting a microphone shoved in your face. You thought of, how you're going to get through a gap or throw a long pass or tackle some giant bloke. That wasn't that wasn't your mindset. But the more I find the next generation, they've grown up with phones and with everything's being filmed. I feel like they're more comfortable with stuff that gets filmed and shot and the media presence. I don't know.
Definitely.
And it's definitely even your generation, like from back from when I first started, it was totally different again. Like they were totally different. But even your generation's more comfortable, and it's just changing, and people are becoming. Social media's changed it, and the power of the social media for the players today is huge. They can control stories. You can control your own narrative by posting to your social media, and you see it in cricket and stuff all the time. It's other sports.
That's the way it should be.
It's the way.
Shouldn't be up to the media to determine a narrative of the players.
As well, like
any kind of outcome for a player.
It's all changing as we.
It shouldn't be that way. It should be in the players' hands.
Probably the last year of the Roosters 24, boys started bringing in their cameras, videoing them, doing the vlogs or whatever now.
Yeah.
Which 5 years ago, or even 3 years
ago.
Well,
Spencer's got his own vlog.
That's not allowed in the dressing room. Whereas now it's kind of like,
I'd never.
This is the new norm. Like boys are allowed to film. I reckon it won't be long till people have their own film crews coming in.
Yeah, like I'll give one example. Jude Bellingham, who plays for Real Madrid, he's got his own YouTube channel. So he's got his own production team.
Reece has got one, doesn't he?
Probably.
Reece has one.
He'll be a walking reality show.
Reece?
Well, he already is, isn't he?
Yeah.
So.
He's on the front page of the Courier Mail every day, basically.
Pretty much.
Like, I'd never seen the inside of your inner sanctum until I saw it, I think, on a Spencer Lenu vlog. Like, I'd always wanted to go there and do a story on it, and there's Spencer just showing... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that was your sacred space. And
it's changed a lot.
It's changed, hasn't it? Like, there are areas now where players are taking you to either on purpose or inadvertently that we have never seen before. We've never been to those areas. And I for me, it's great. Like, I get to see it because I'm curious about all that sort of stuff. And I'm sure the fans are the same. You know, but it's something that I'm surprised happens, but I guess that's the change that's happening now.
It's changed with that new generation. They've had the phones, they've had the Instagram. Like, it's probably normal to them, whereas the old, like 5 years ago, you bring a camera into a change room.
You
get slapped down, wouldn't you?
What would Jared have said?
Well, he was there that last one. I remember us talking about it going, like, even Teddy, like, he's kind of old school. It's going, they're not doing anything wrong. Like, it's...
You're a little bit old school too, aren't you?
We're rather that, but it's kind of like they're not like doing anything wrong. It's not harming the team as long as it doesn't overstep the mark.
What about info? Before we move on to some issues that are going around, there's an interesting, you bring up podcast and having a platform. We'll get to Lachlan Ilias in a moment because he went on a podcast and said some things and it's created a story. Hey, presto. With your info that you get about nowadays how everything can just go around the world twice without even blinking because of the phones, because of everyone's connectivity through social media, that have you got to be really careful even telling anything to, like, a good mate or a relative, like you're just having a dinner time conversation.
Like back me for the first try
you'd expect
I won't go down those lines about maybe signing news or say if Jared's thinking about retiring and you mentioned to someone
release any of that information.
Address the boys.
Like I said to you, there's like a code of silence thing. I think with the players, like, you know inside yourself whether you should be saying something or not. It's probably like real life. You know, if you can, he tells you something. Do you tell your wife that or do you leave it? I think that. Yeah, the info stuff's not the thing. I think it's when the camera comes out or the podcast or, you think you can say stuff like now and then an hour later go, shouldn't have said that. And all of a sudden it's gone, like it's out there.
Because I go back to what happened, I think it was last year when JD was at Souths and Chammy did this great analysis piece on what went wrong at Souths. And he had all this information from a team meeting. Now, that has obviously come from someone, passed on to someone from in that room.
And he didn't just have the info, he had it within half an hour.
Which I find...
But that's because that's how the media work. Like, you know that people are...
Okay,
people want to spin
we'll do the
their
silver
side
first.
of the story. They want their truth.
You'd be getting leads all the time.
I want to go to the moon.
But then you've also got to check why it's being said.
Yep.
Who's saying it? If there's an agenda at play, if there's not.
There's always an agenda.
Well, there is. Yeah, that's for a journo. That's the beauty. Like, everybody's got something to push or something to sell or something to say, and that's how you get your information sometimes, because somebody doesn't want that person to succeed or doesn't like that person, so they've got or wants a player at this club to get a position that another player has. Or there's all sorts of motivations, and you've lived it. You've seen it. You were pretty scandal free though. Like, that was
scandal free.
He did tell Russell Crowe to
That was
yeah.
That's my favourite Luke Keary story.
I think it's as far as I got.
He won't ever tell us the truth on that either.
I admire the guy because he's the only man now that Russell keeps on doing movies. So now he's not only told about Russell Crowe, he's told Maximus Meridius, he's told the lead character in Cinderella Man. Now he's told Hermann Goering because he's got Nuremberg coming out.
It's the most asked about thing.
I bet it is.
Is it?
Most asked about thing. Yeah.
No, keep it locked inside. It's your truth.
You've told us bits of it.
Bits, yeah. I don't think I've told anyone.
I'd like to. Are you going to tell us
Maybe
now?
over a beer. No,
that's his favourite line. I was trying to get out
over
of in London too. I said, tell us about the Russell Crowe stuff. He goes, maybe in the pub over there. Wrong person to take to a pub too, by the way.
Hey, look, he's at Triple M next year and hopefully beyond. At some stage, I dare say, it's going to eke out somewhere. What else are you mixing with a bit of Triple M work?
Yeah, so I'm in at the Roosters one day a week, and it's awesome to be back there. Like, it's obviously my home. I was there for 8 years. I love the joint. Love all the staff there. Just going to mix around. A lot of stuff with the younger boys. There's a lot of good young halves coming through. Friendy and Orbo set up the academy there. Going to do a lot of stuff with the on the corporate side too, with the commercial team, which I'm really keen to learn. And then probably got this big gap where I've done a lot of stuff. I've gone to uni for the last 10 years.
10 years?
Well, the Bachelor takes forever. You do one subject every...
Bachelor of Arts or?
Bachelor of Business.
Business.
He's the most qualified bloke in this room. I'm not joking.
So
I'm going to try and use it.
Copy that and then paste it, flip it to the other
But I'm
side.
actually really looking forward to that part of life too, about stepping away and...
Well, can you imagine
a lot
one day
easier
that
to
you're
do.
running a rugby league club? Is this what the Bachelor of Business was going to lead to?
I don't know where it's going to lead me. Like
Look out, Andrew Abdo.
Yeah, I just need to get this first bit done, get in somewhere, kind of learn all those hard skills that I've missed. And then,
there was an interesting thing though with you. Like Newcastle wanted you to come in straight away as their assistant coach, which is a huge thing for a player just retired.
Yeah.
Was that something you looked at seriously, or did you dismiss it straight away?
In my head before the conversation, I'd dismissed coaching. Like I kind of seen what they've gone through.
Okay.
I didn't think it was a life for me. But then when Justin called me out of the blue, and I got a really close relationship with him, worked with him twice at the Roosters. He's as good of a coach as I've had in my career.
Justin Holbrook, he's talking about.
I did think about it seriously, not for too long, but then realised, hey, you've got these other stuff you've really worked hard towards. And then the other thing, like the Roosters, I really wanted to be at the Roosters. Had those discussions going over about wanting to come back, and ended up back home.
You didn't wake up with a horse's head in your bed because Nick Politis has said something.
Persuasive human being.
You won't be working for anyone else, Luke Keary.
With Newcastle, just on Justin Holbrook, give Knights fans a bit of hope that this guy...
He's awesome,
Yeah, so you look at his record at the Gold Coast and you go...
Yeah, I reckon looking back now, like when he got sacked, like they were in a good spot. I think they were 8th. He'd taken this young team. They were one of the best attacking teams in the comp. Like
they were.
His
they honestly were
unbelievable. Like he's as good.
It was just the defense they needed to sort out that Titans team, and it's still like that.
Rugby league so well.
That's what Knights going on 2025.
It's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect for him. Like he'll be so. He helped me so much. I got to the Roosters in 17. He was there, and immediately had an impact.
How? In what way?
It's just the way he thinks about the game, the confidence he instills in you. He's really clear, and you can talk to him like this about footy. He understands. He can gather 4 or 5 guys in the spine's opinion and kind of cultivate it in something that's going to suit. I think that's his biggest strength about going, hey, I've got... the first time he came, he had Mitchell Pearce, myself, Michael Gordon, Jake Friend. Then the second time, he had Sam Walker, me, Teddy.
Fuck, I forgot Michael Gordon played fullback for...
He was able to
Roosters,
go,
man.
hey, Kalen Ponga, you're really good at this. I've got Sand in here who's really good at this.
Fucking
got Dylan Brown
completely
now.
Forgot about that.
Like, he's probably the perfect guy, I reckon, for him to cultivate that attack and mix. He did it at the Titans with, let's be honest, like lesser players, than he's had at the Roosters, and he's going to have at the Knights.
I might be wrong, but I think that his results were pretty much the best they were having since John Cartwright sort of day. So that could be wrong.
And they fell off the cliff
just from memory. And what about you? Also work closely with Adam O'Brien. He's now turning up at the Bulldogs as their attack guy, I think.
Yep.
What is he in a similar vein?
Awesome. Yeah, honestly, him and Justo are very similar. Obviously, it's so different going from assistant.
You probably don't really want to hear that as a Newcastle supporter, but they're very similar.
Last year, he just ran out of steam. Yeah. think he said it. He took him as far as he thought he could. And it happens with some coaches. Like, how many have been long-standing? Robbo, Bellamy.
Yeah, there's a half a
Wayne's
dozen,
moved a few times. There's not many that stay for a long period. And I think he realised that I've got nothing left to give him. They were going backwards. But in terms of, like, when he was with us, attacking-wise, he'd been at Melbourne Roosters. He's one of the best too. Like, he's such a good bloke. He's going to be so good for Canterbury.
So they were a big story, as you know. Well, you mightn't have followed it closely because you're overseas, but their halves are a big story.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd imagine he's going to be charged with getting the best out of Burton, Galvin, Tracy, and maybe
Woods.
Yeah, maybe Woods. So do you know much about how would you run that show? How do you think he'll be able to get the best out of those guys? I mean, do you have an opinion on that?
Well, I think they probably will start with Galvin and Burton. And I think when you're a young half like Woods, it'll be like, go take over. Go play reserve grade, and you'll naturally take over. Like, and if that happens,
someone gets injured, or he'll just.
Well, it can happen from injury. It can happen from form. Burton can play in different positions. Galvin's locked in, right?
Has he got it, Galvin?
I believe he does. Yeah, I think 12 months ago I said, I think he's the one. Like, if I had to pick of any of those halves, when I look at the halves, you got like the base of them, which makes them a first grader, and then the stuff on top, which makes them great. And he's got all that underneath. And someone's got
underneath. What do you mean?
He's a competitor. He's fit. He's got a decent kicking game. He's defensively strong. Like, you can tell he
sometimes he
half
is.
of that battle is about competing.
Sometimes
having
he
a great
is.
defensive game, being able to kick the ball. And then someone's got to come in. Adam's charged with that, about getting that stuff on top, the vision, setting up plays, working with people around him, working in a system, things like that. Nathan was the perfect example.
Yeah.
Nathan didn't have the brilliance when he came in.
He was criticised for that too, wasn't he? Remember? People saying
he still does it like he does it. He's not that dude who's like a Sam Walker who can come up with these outrageous
35-metre cutout pass.
Occasionally he can.
Yeah, occasionally he can, bro.
Defensively strong.
We've seen him do it.
Great kicking game. Knows how to lead a team. That's the base. And then now Nathan's added a bit of that stuff in at top, which has made him the best halfback in the game. But he did get criticised a lot at the start.
He looks like a guy who's just always in control of the situation, especially when he's playing in a team that he's been playing in. Geez, you make Lachlan Galvin sound like the greatest teenager we've ever seen, in the words of Gus.
Hey, easy. Hey, can you compliment blokes anymore? I don't know. Like, you're an official in a way.
Like what he did at the Tigers too. People forget he came in and he like dominated that team in a team that's so hard to do as a half.
To the Roosters, have you been camped out there with Daly rocking up the training?
I was fortunate enough to be invited to the unveiling of Daly.
Okay.
The other day.
Unveiling of Daly.
And the new Roosters jumper.
Had some time to plan it, didn't they?
Yes. Well, according to Daly, he said, I asked him, I said, well, when did you actually make your mind up? My phone's going off, sorry. Something must be going
busy
on.
Man.
He said he only decided a couple of weeks ago.
Bullshit.
Okay.
Because that's when he put pen to paper. That's in his mind. That's when
I had that feeling as well, Manly fan here, that he wasn't sure he was actually going to keep 100% sure
he considered retirement.
I want to go
he considered
to
that.
them.
But
Welcome back, Bo.
I mean, the word on the street from the very start was Roosters, and Nick was coy about it the whole way through. He didn't want to lie to people, so he was just brushing us basically about and Robbo just danced his way around it all.
Yeah.
But I think I saw a fire in that guy that makes me think that there's a lot of people he wants to show that he is worthy of at least this one more season. I feel like there's a fire in that belly still at the age of, is he I think 36? I think he's the oldest bloke in the...
37 next year.
Yeah, that's old for a half. You're retired way younger than that. But I feel like there is a determination to show people he's got it. And, in a team like the Roosters, who I think surprised a lot of people this year that they did as well as they did. I didn't think they'd do as well as they did. I think you're going to bag their roster in a second, I know.
No, I'm not. I'm going to say...
He's a Rooster basher.
No, I said 2 years ago that they just didn't... They had a good roster. And sorry, you were part of this, but they didn't have a great short. So, I'm sorry. for having an opinion.
Sorry for having an opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry for sticking up for Uncle Nick at every turn. No, but I look at their halves now, and you can delve into this if you can. It's a pretty good rotation with Savala, who's developed.
Yep. Yeah, I'm probably going to hop off after this one. It's just too hot to stream, man. I can't keep my mind
if he stays fit,
clear. It's just bloody hot.
Opinion anyway. He's one of the best rugby league players to watch because he is capable of absolutely friggin' anything and everything. It's insane. It's like nearly at Reece Walsh levels. Now Reece is obviously a few steps ahead.
Yeah.
Talk me out of that. I mean, it looks
like it's going to be controversial, right? The day I think when Cooper came, it was controversial. We had Piercy there, who was one of the top halves in the game too at the time. He was still playing Origin, and it's going to be awkward. But from what I've seen and what I believe, thinking about it, I think he's going to be great for the club. He brings stability.
Internet is playing up. So yeah, I might hop off after this. Like I said, getting a bit too hot.
He brings composure and he brings experience. And obviously the Roosters have lost a fair bit of that. But he's been consistent for so long.
Kicking game.
Queensland captain, Captain Australia, played all these Origins, international footy, Captain Manly, great kicking game. He brings stability to that team, which is what they need. And it's not to say Hugo doesn't, but to bring in this guy, like I think it's a great move.
Is it sorry, Danny? Is it Sam's team though?
Well, that'll remain to be seen, right? You figure that out as players, right? Because even when Cooper came, they're not going to ask Daly to reinvent the wheel. They're not going to ask him to be the best player on the field. We didn't ask Cooper to be the best player on the field. Cooper didn't have to reinvent it. He knew what he had around him, and he knew he just had to get the best out of them and empower people. Cooper didn't have to be the centre of attention. I don't think they're going to ask Daly to be that either. As you just said, Sam's probably that guy. Whether that's your team or not, you don't think about that as a player. You don't go, oh, Cooper's here, it's his team now. No, that's not how it works.
I'm curious.
Not how we think about it as players.
Yeah, right.
About whose team it is. Or you just.
No, it was more to the point of, like, say, dummy half goes in and both are calling for the ball. Who's more likely to get the ball? That's what I mean about whose team it is. So.
Luke, are they? I watch from the outside.
Simba my cup. Never forget all the memories. Don't leave so soon, don't leave so soon. How can I get through? I wanna go to. Don't leave so soon, don't leave so soon. How can I get through? Simba, my cup. Never forget memories.
I don't have the inside knowledge you have, but are they too similar? Are they both a little bit off the cuff, play off the top of your head style players, or are they?
Yeah.
All right, boys, I'm gonna hop off.
I think they've got that in them.
It's been laggy, so I'm gonna hop off.